Good evening. Good evening. Thursday, the sun is out and everything is marvellous. So I'm going to claim. Welcome in. Thought we'd start a couple of minutes early because I finally got to the point. I'm never ever going to be described as a pro streamer, let's be honest. But I've got to the point where my pre-stream routine doesn't involve staring petrified at the screen for an hour beforehand, and now I'm getting a little impatient waiting. So let's start up. Let's head on over. We've got a wonderful. Oh, okay. Lucas is saying there is no mic over on YouTube. That's interesting. Okay. I was going to say let's catch up on what's going on with it. Can people hear me currently? I'm going to ask that over on Twitch. I have a feeling that it might be a case of, oh, okay, no, Lucas has now deleted that and says my bad. Marvellous. Whatever the problem was, it's been solved. Fabulous. You had YouTube muted. I mean, that will do it. That will definitely do it, Lucas. Welcome on in. Let's say hello. So we're back with Darmstadt today. We've got, I think, 10 games left of the season. No, not even that. We've got 8 games left in the league. We've also got a little bit of Conference League action to come up as well. So we've got a lot that we hope to get through at some point during the course of this evening. Now, let's say hello, because the first person in today was the beautiful, the wonderful, the amazing DM Basis. Now, DM Basis has got himself veggie pizza tonight, and as soon as he mentioned that, I felt remarkably jealous. I think I've got a pizza left in the freezer, which means that I will almost certainly. What happens is when people mention food in chat, I then want that food. So if you mention something that I might have, that is probably going to end up being what I have for dinner, because jealousy is a fickle thing, a very, very fickle thing. Welcome in Blue Lions as well. Now, Blue Lions is half Brazilian. A pretty torrid time for the Brazilians yesterday. A 4-1 defeat to Argentina. Argentina now have booked their place in the 2026 World Cup. I mean, it's been a bit of a journey for Brazil in recent years. I think, like before the Abel Ferreira, was it Abel Ferreira? The Fernando Diniz even era, things were very, very wobbly, and it's kind of just carried on wobbling since. So it's certainly going to be interesting to see if you can get kind of something a little bit more cohesive in time for a World Cup that is only just over a year away now, which is going to be kind of interesting. Zerachul's here. Welcome in, Zerachul. Lovely to see you, my dude. We've got Hungdamin in as well. It's great to see you both. I hope you're doing well. I say I hope you're doing well. Zerachul has spice up his nose, which sounds like a euphemism. It's not. It's not. I'm assured it's not anyway. But yeah, not a grand start to the evening by any stretch. Now we do have Rich in. Rich is doing well. Lovely to see you, my dude. I hope you are keeping well. We've got a little bit of Winkinator as well. It's great to see you, Winkinator. And we've got Iron. I'm very, very well, thank you. How are you both? Lovely to see you in. Zerachul says, never underestimate the power of user error. I mean, we've all been there. We have definitely all been there. Usually I'm the other way round, where because I have YouTube on over in the corner to make sure the streams are up and running, I forget to mute, which is kind of the same thing, just the other way round. The quiz is in. Welcome in, my dude. Welcome on the concert league, indeed. You should know by now that I can't do words. I definitely can't do words. Rich says yes. So Rich is a grizzled veteran of the SI forums. I did indeed. I was just very, very bored earlier. But yeah, I've been on many threads talking to Rich before I even realised it was Rich, which is lovely to see. The Pie Guy is here as well. Lovely to see you, my dude. How's your week been so far? So Rich says that he thinks that there's ongoing tension in Brazilian football, which is fair. Beauty versus the desire to win. That balance between the practical and the pragmatic. Sorry, the exciting and the pragmatic. So Blue Lion's response was like that it's a very different game nowadays. A lot of players have been infected by European football. I love that word, infected. I mean, I love that word in this context. I don't like infections generally. That's probably a bad idea to say that. Oh my. You beauty, Aaron. Welcome on in. Thank you very much for the raid. How was your stream, my dude? Lovely to have you on board. let me pop one of these over. Have I done that right? I have done it right. Well, hey, there's a shout out. Very much appreciate it. You guys have arrived just in time. We're doing the intro and everything. So just to say hello, I'm MustermannFM. We're currently in season 8 with Darmstadt. It's our 4th season with Darmstadt themselves, season 8 in the save overall. So we will in a moment be heading over, doing a quick little recap, and then heading into our first game of the stream. But I'm currently at the saying hello moments, because we've got El Norby in as well, and we've got Tactical Obsession. Lovely to see you both, guys. How are you? More importantly, we've got Knight of Knee in. He says, good evening, everyone. He sends his regards to Rich as well. Obviously, Rich, I don't want to talk about it in great detail if I... but obviously, we're all thinking of you at this moment. I hope that you're doing okay, and I will happily talk as much or as little as you want. So Winkinator's doing well, preparing for Super League match tomorrow. A difficult match against Rowan. Oh, interesting. You've heard he's a very good player. Yes, so for those that don't know, I'm taking part in the FMNL, that's Football Manager Netherlands Super League. Winkinator is taking part in it. Iron is one of the organisers of it. Rowan, who's been over on the channel every now and then, has been is part of it as well. The Netherlands representative at the FIFA E World Cup featuring Football Manager. I'm still waiting to have our game for this week, so that will be streamed at some point, but I'm not entirely sure when that's going to be, if it even happens. Also, you've got a difficult match against a friend of Rowan's. Right, okay, I do apologise. That okay, hopefully that'll be easy. Maybe tap up Rowan, see if you can get a little bit of insight. Yeah, I mean that's probably going to be the best way to go about it. Right, let's head on over into the game and we can talk about where we are. As I say hello as well, we've got RJ in. Lovely to see you, RJ. We've got Johnny in as well. Beautiful. So Aaron started a new save with Arsenal. Had a great stream. That's fantastic to hear. How far in are you? I mean, I always find that the startup, you can spend literally hours upon hours. So have you pressed continue yet? Because that would be one hell of a great achievement for a first stream of a new save. Here we are currently. We are now sat in 8th. We had a really horrible time last time out. We haven't won a game in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 league games. We've won some Conference League games in that time. That's helped kind of keep us afloat, but the league has been pretty rotten. We raced out to a 3-0 lead against Leipzig, and they came back in the last 10 minutes with a 94th minute equaliser. We then absolutely dicked all over Wolfsburg, something like 2.8 xg to 0.4, and we drew 1-1 and we had 3 players injured. The injury problems continued because in the very next game we lost our right back Luko Pazarek, as we lost 3-1 in a game where neither team managed above 0.6 xg for the whole match. And then the very next game later, the very next game, we lost another player within about 3 minutes of the game starting to injury. We had a game against Hoffenheim where we were the better team quite comfortably. We then had a game against Leverkusen where we deserved to, well, I say we deserved to lose, something like 1.38 xg to 1 xg. So not like we were completely outgunned, but there has been a theme. We have struggled to score goals. We have struggled to not concede them. And the XG table says exactly that. We should be in 6th. We've scored 7 goals fewer than we've created chances for. We've conceded 3 more. There is only one other team in the league with the same, who have both underperformed in both areas, and that's Hamburg, and they're currently in the relegation zone. So, you know, it's not been great. But today is where it ends. We start with a game against Gladbach. Gladbach, who are in 11th, Schalke, who are in 12th, Hannover, who are in 9th, Stuttgart are 10th, Hamburg, as we've discussed, are in the relegation zone. So we've got some games that potentially are around the same kind of quality as us. So that's the hope. We'll head into that, and we should. This is probably going to be the marker for the game. Let's be honest. This is going to be the marker for the stream. If we start off well, maybe it will be okay. Otherwise, we might struggle a little bit. Now we have Berry in. Welcome in, Berry 2709, the 2709th Berry. Lovely to have you, my dude. I hope you are doing well. We also have Neil in over on YouTube. He's asked, have I tried the FM Tweak Muster? So I have tried I haven't tried the most recent one. I have tried the ones before. They are perfectly fine. They aren't, I wouldn't describe them as being any better than the default database. There was some default match engine, but it is perfectly reasonable. It's great to see people playing around with things and trying to change the experience. But yeah, I mean, it's fine. I'm afraid I can't be more excited than that, I'm afraid. We also have Hervon in. Welcome in, Hervon. How are you doing, my dude? And Cyril, welcome. And Mr. Echo, Gamma Jobber, Mr. Echo. I will learn one word, and that'll be the only word I will ever remember. I hope you're doing well. RJ says exactly. Imagine pressing continue in that first stream. Crazy. Definitely wouldn't happen here. Definitely wouldn't happen here. So everyone made it to around halfway through the season. Decided to end after 2.5 hours just so I can get a break for a bit. How long were you? So you ended after 2.5 hours. So you played from starting the save to halfway through the season in 2.5 hours. That is madness. Absolute madness, sir. So Cyril's winding down the day, plans to do some admin and continue your prep for tomorrow and the end of the semester. Oh, okay. So we're getting to the important part now. When do you break for the semester? I assume that's going to be around the Easter time, right? So the first highlight of the game looks like it's going to be Gladbach. Scally into Dorsch. Dorsch plays it to Kleinbeckel. Scally again now, out wide. Beats his man, sends the cross in. Surely Curlin's got to claim that, and he does. He does. Thank God for that. Although, what was the highlight? Is this going to be a defensive error? Highland sends it long. De Niro, no one's near it. No one's near it at all. It runs all the way through to Juf, and Abdullah's in! Abdullah! Oh, Abdullah! So the first highlight actually was ours. And that is a pretty horrendous miss so far. Let's say start as we need to go on. Zerachul mentions that, this is the curse of not having the 35-year-old target striker indeed. Poor old Davy Selke. Let's not beat around the bush. We miss Davy Selke. We do. I mean, he scored less goals last season than Abdullah scored currently. And De Niro scored currently as well. But it was his aura. There was just something about Davy Selke that brought us together, made us a team. Medical Cars here. Welcome in, my dude. I hope you're doing well. How's your week been so far? Right, Schmidt plays it into Abdullah. Can he play it out wide? He can. Here's Asnu. Asnu feeds De Niro. De Niro gets a contact on it. It's not great. He was offside anyway. That's all right. Davy Selke, he sells us wins for cheap. He does indeed. So Hervon, asks how the FM Netherlands League is getting on. I won both of our first games, which is I'm pretty happy with that. I was Tommy, who was my opponent, can feel very hard done by in the second game. Had a couple of great chances, had a goal disallowed for offside. I feel like we did enough to deserve the win in the first game at least. So I 3 points would have been fair each. I'm currently sat on 6, which is obviously brilliant. Puts us in a good position for hopefully my game this week against Naufal, which should be an interesting matchup. I took a look at how he's set up, and I think I've got some plans, possibly some crazy formations possibly going on. Right. So into the second half, Shiitake is a little bit nobbled, as is Abdullah. I think we should be fine to run with them so far. We're going to increase the mentality a little bit and just see how we get on into this second half. There does appear to be a highlight from kickoff, though. Let's just check. We are on extended. That's fine. There isn't one. That's cool. Right, so momentum. We're maintaining that momentum in the second half. Here comes Hu Yin. His cross easily gathered by Olstrovsky. Olstrovsky? We'll go with Olstrovsky. Oh my God, Abdullah. He needs to learn from Selke. I mean, Abdullah's had some bad moments as Gessend. Oh, that really should have been a goal. Big chance there for Gladbach. And is that the turning of the momentum? Here's another highlight for them. Linson with the foul. It's a penalty. We've seen this story before. Oh, have we seen this story before? Right, so Mr. Echo says, I'll teach you one more word, which is madloba, which means thank you. Marvellous. I'm going to just quickly add that down. As I say thank you, as Gruder gives Gladbach the lead. This is, oh my word, far too familiar a sight. We are 1-0 down. It's a penalty. Lovely, lovely penalty right in the top corner. Even if Highland guessed the same way, there was not a hope he would have saved that. Beautiful stuff. Right, can we respond? Schaffel's got to play the pass into Nürnberger. Out wide. Here we go. Now, Abdullah gathers. He's going to run down the wing. Abdullah's the man we kind of want in the box for this moment. But here he is. Abdullah fires over. That's a big chance. A big chance gone there as well. Right. Another highlight. Is this going to be ours? We lose out to net. They get it clear. Can we get it under control? We just about stop the ball from bouncing around. Here's Nürnberger. Spreads it out wide to Linson. Linson, the man who conceded the penalty. Plays it inside to Shataki. Here's Schaffel now. Shataki, they're just going to pass the ball around the back. We're slowly moving further backwards. Here's Schmidt. Finds McNulty. Now, is Asnu going to run down the wing because he's got loads of space? He gets the ball. He gets tackled. Here's Nürnberger. Takes aim from distance. And it's turned round the post by Alshofsky. It took a bit of a deflection on the way through. Keeper did well to readjust. What can we do from the corner? Nürnberger to Linson. Back to Nürnberger. He feeds Asnu. Asnu's going to play it out wide to Hu Yin. Will someone take a shot? Nope, we'll turn away. McNulty to Schmidt. To Yin to Schmidt. What was that? What was that? Right, we're playing inside. We're putting ourselves under pressure and deep, but that can help us move through the lines potentially. Nope, Schmidt just sends it long. Here's Juve now in acres of space, able to find Furyk. Furyk to Romsas. Schaffel makes the challenge. Good defending from Raphael Schaffel. A bit of a loose pass back to Highland though, and that is how we go 2-0 down. I hope he was offside. I hope he was offside. Oh no. It's disallowed. Thank God for that. Right, the changes are coming in, and it's going to be Shataki. Right, Garcia, McNulty. We're going to go back to that 4-3-3. I think we are going to the 4-3-3, which will see us put McNulty in midfield. Asnu drops back into that position. Shataki is the player who's tired. That's part of the reason why we're going to be making these changes. So that would look something perhaps a little bit like that. Dvorshak, whilst we were away, Dvorshak's parent club was angry that we weren't playing him as a playmaker. So out on the right wing. So let's do that. So let's put him on support and put him on attack. So that'd be... Do we want Linson off? He did concede the penalty. Yeah, we're going to give Skitter his chance. He can come on as a central midfielder, attacking the box from deep. And we're going to bring on Stenbring on the left there. So let's move back up to positive. We're also going to increase the tempo. See if we can get back into this game, please. So the pie guy, your Montreal save has shifted, by the way. Managed to win every trophy in the 2028, you were saying the other day, indeed. Then you went to Fulham, who'd just been promoted to the Premier League. Managed to avoid relegation on goal difference. Marvellous. IA has royally fucked Fulham's finance as usual. So a big rebound is inbound for the 29-30 season. Sounds like a good challenge. Sounds like a good, fun challenge. Right, Zeratul, it's going to be one of those streams. You're grabbing the popcorn. It does look that way. As we said, this game is what we need to set the tone. Nürnberger's in behind. He takes it wide, though. Can he play it back inside? He can to Hu Yin. The shot's deflected off his own man. Stenbring is the man who gets in the way, and that's behind for a goal kick. Hu Yin plays it inside to Garcia McNulty. Right, we find Skitter. He spreads it out to Stenbring. Stenbring, can he release the ball? He does to Skitter. We've got a man over. Dvorshak runs into the defender, and that overlapping run is gone. But he gets the ball now. Schaffel across to Nürnberg. We do see some space opening up. Asnu gets the cross in low. It's an amazing save from Olszewski. Oh, what a save from Olszewski. It was a shot from 6 yards out with the left foot high. And Olszewski claws it away for the corner. Cracking save from the keeper. But that's a good sign. We are creating chances. We will need to potentially make another change, I guess. Abdullah is tired. We did know that when we made the last changes as well. Was it El Hajjouf? If only it was El Hajjouf. So RG, why take a shot when you can pass and keep the ball? Exactly. Possession is what matters. Oh, here comes Furyk. Furyk skips past his man and we can't clear it and it's 2-0 down. Yes, boys. This is how it's going to be. Oh, no. What? Look at Furyk here, though. Furyk waits for Scheffel to commit, skips past him. Beautifully done there. Cuts inside, finds Demar. The shot deflects off the defender, and it falls straight back at his feet. And that's 2-0. You can't say that hasn't been coming. Well, you can say that hasn't been coming. They've had a couple of chances, but they had the offside goal is kind of what I mean. So, you know, they had that opportunity a moment ago as well. Here's Romsas. Are they going to really, really hammer the nail in the coffin? Ermin into Dorsch. Got back up to attacking. Here's Romsas out to Scally. Back to Dorsch. To Romsas. They're just toying with us now down on that right-hand flank. Can we put some effort in? We can't. Gessen's the target. Hyland tips it round the post. It's a great save from Hyland. Beautiful stuff. It's going down near, right down low. Beautiful to get down. Tip it round the post as Jeff's header goes over. Right, Abdullahi is the man that needs to come off. Dyke's coming on. So we will now try double inside forwards. Something like that. Dvorak can be the facilitator. Muller on for Asnu, who's got a booking. Can we come back? Now, the first game of last stream, we were 3-0 up and we conceded 3 goals in the last 10 minutes. So it's possible to make a comeback in the last 10 minutes. That said, 10 minutes has just passed and we haven't had a highlight, so maybe not. Net sends the ball. Hu Ying gathers. Right, sends it back to Hyland, who tries to get it long. Here's Muller into Dvorak. Dvorak with a lovely turn. Plays it back out wide to Muller. Can Muller get the cross in? He can indeed, and Dvorak is the target, but he doesn't even attempt to challenge for it. And here comes Gladbach. Romsas now with it. It's a lovely recovery challenge from Hu Yin. And we send it back out down that left-hand side. It's Skitter. Skitter's been frozen out of the club this season, but he gets his chance due to injuries. His cross to the far post. Dvorak heads over. Thank you, by the way, very much for the follow, Owen. Welcome on in, my dude. I hope you're doing well. Blue Baron, watched a couple of your videos now live. Fabulous to hear, Blue Baron. Lovely to see you in, my dude. Hungermin, no money ball today. No money. We are having a tough time, that is for sure. Proper Hanover, that Demar. Is he now, Jonsa? Welcome in, Jonsa, by the way. Lovely to see you, my dude. So, who is Demar? There were so many players I don't know over in German football. He is the man of my nightmares, actually, I think would be a fair description. So there we have it. We start off with a 2-0 home defeat. Now, Gladbach did win that on XG. Granted, 0.8 of that is the penalty. We yet again come away with a game where we've scored fewer than we've created. We've conceded more than we've given up. Right. I'm not happy. We had a little bit of a team meeting last time round to say, hey guys, you can pick this up from here. That hasn't worked. Let's see if we can do that though again now. Let's see. Team meeting. We're good enough to turn things around. A couple of positive responses. Not that many though. But hopefully maybe that's going to be enough to kind of stop some of the morale rot that we can see. And in fact, we have an international break now. So that does mean we're going to pop in a friendly against... let's go away. Let's go away from home. And let's play a friendly against... I've not seen Garching before. Let's go for Garching. Now, the big problem here is if we somehow don't win this friendly, that's going to be a big problem. So, right, RJ says, did you see that Anderlecht fired Hubert before the playoffs and brought back Hazy? Last time that happened was in 2017 when he came in just before the playoffs and you won the title after 22 out of 30 points. I mean, that is a bold move. If it's worked before, maybe that's the masterstroke. Maybe that's the masterstroke. I mean, whilst you're here, RJ, what do you make of Rudy Garcia's, we'll call it debut? Not being the most promising start, I don't think, from what I could see anyway. But maybe I didn't watch the games. Maybe it was more encouraging watching the games than it was looking at the results. John said, yes, he's proper Hanover. He's played 58 minutes for our first team. Fair enough. That just about sounds about right. Welcome in to the glorious, the beautiful, the most wonderfully hirsute Mr. Dill. How are you doing, Dill? I hope you're doing well. We're doing bad. We've just played the one game, and we've lost. We've lost yet again. Our ill form. Actually, so I say that I do have a little bit of a fear about today's stream, because we all know about the luck modifier, right? We all know about the luck modifier. We played. You play one session, it goes well. You play a second session, it doesn't go well. Well, last night I was doing my counterclass, masterclass thing for Brazilian Fury, who submitted his União de Tomar save for a game against Rennes. And we worked it out and we got a nice big win, and we played the game multiple times to prove that the tactical tweaks worked, and we got like 6-1 wins and 5-2 wins in there. So last night we had a really good session, which means by the law of averages, today is destined to be a bad session. It's essentially guaranteed. And that's all my fault, to be fair. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, we have a little mystery mini game redeemed by the glorious DM basis. So let's head on over and do a little round of Guess the Player. Now, for you guys that haven't been around on the streams before, I will explain how this works. It's a really simple concept. You're going to see 4 pictures, one after the other, from a player's profile in FM24. It's not the player that you see on your screen right now. That is just a placeholder. You're going to see the positions that they play. You're going to see their attributes. You're going to see their scout/coach report, and you're going to see the clubs they played for. Your job is to guess who the player is. The earlier you guess, the more points you get. Now, one thing to be aware of, this is the default game of Football Manager 24, so the default database, and it's at the start of the game. So if you take, for example, a player like Joshua Zirkzee, in real life, he moved to Man United over the summer, but in FM, he starts at Bologna. So just something to keep in mind, potentially as we go through these. So let's head on over to the very first clue. And the first clue is a almost two-footed left winger. He's right-footed, but he's fairly strong with his left foot. Described as a winger, but can also play as an inverted winger, an inside forward, and an advanced playmaker. Isn't a wide target forward. So RJ says it's better than Tedesco already. The first game was bad because the player's not him. Fair enough. Second game was better, and Trossard's probably lost all his credits already. Oh dear. Did he ever? Trossard's had a pretty shit season for Arsenal as well. I like Trossard, but he's just not quite had it this year. To be fair, a Wout fast highlight. Yes, there is certainly an out fast element to him there, isn't there, with that hair? So the guesses are coming in. Could it be Jack Clark? Could it be Antoine Griezmann or Dan James, Mikel Oyarzabal, Marcus Rashford, even Perisic? They are all fabulous guesses. We've also got a guess coming in for Thomas Muller, Nico Williams as well. I can tell you we do not have the right answers there. We do have a couple of people who've been guessing left-footed players. Now, he's fairly strong with his left foot, but he is right foot dominant. Just something to be aware of there. And this is what his attributes look like. So he's aggressive, he's brave, he's got flair, he's got excellent first touch, he's reasonable pace. I mean, they say he's not a wide target forward, but 10 jumping reach and 9 heading isn't that bad, really. So Trossard is keeping the ball way too much, very slow to release. Yeah, that feels a lot like what I've seen with him with Arsenal this season. It's almost like the game slows down when it gets to him, and that's not in a good way. So more guesses coming in. We've got Brandt, we've got Nico Williams, we've got Coman. Koatiba's in. Hello, Koatiba. Lovely to see you, my dude. RJ rightly points out there are no traits on this player. Could it be Zaha or Robin Hack or Rafinha or Bergwijn? It's definitely not Roy Keane, says Tactical Obsession. You are an astute man. You are. It is not Roy Keane, indeed. Could it be Diego Jota? It is not Diego Jota, but there are some... I mean, this is a very, for a winger, to have high aggression and bravery is such an odd set of attributes there. Could it be Junior of Real Madrid or Lamella? It is neither of those, I'm afraid. But again, some fabulous suggestions. Let's let's head on over to the next clue and see where we are. Could it be Phil Foden, Mr. Echo, coming in at the last moment? Well, now we know the division. We know the division, and that means it can't be Phil Foden, I'm afraid. This is a leading Eredivisie player whose greatest strength apparently is his versatility and his flair. He's consistent, but he's injury prone. That's the one thing to look out for, someone who's injury prone. So the guess is coming in. We've got Anthony, we've got Berghaus, we've got Paxal, we've got Lang. RJ's just gone for someone in the Eredivisie, that's fair. Mr. Echo thinks it's Lang. El Norby, Mohamed Kebab all go for Lang. Zerachul's gone for Johan Baksh. DM Basis has gone for Tillman. Hungda Min's gone for Jens Odgaard. There are some fine guesses in there, and I can say we definitely have a right answer in there. So let's head on over and see where this player currently plays. Currently plays for PSV. And if he currently plays for PSV, it means that the very first person to guess Noah Lang, otherwise Zerachul, has picked himself up a fabulous 2 points. It is indeed Noah Lang. Beautiful, beautiful work there. And it does mean that Zerachul, who got the applause in before we identified who exactly won, Zerachul is applauding himself, and he deserves to. Because that was a fabulous guess there. Just pipping Mr. Echo to the post, and El Norby and Mohamed Kebab all within just a few seconds of one another. But Zerachul, as always, fast. It's hard to get there ahead of him. RJ says, is he that brave? I don't know. It's apparently so. Yes, crazy, annoying. Yes, brave. I don't know about that. That's fair. Johnson says, I thought you would still be at Bruges at the start of FM24. Sadly not. Yeah, marvellous work. El Norby comes in with the applause. Fabulous stuff. Zerachul comes in with the Numas. Beautiful stuff. Now, whilst that game was playing, I should have probably managed to move this along, but I was paying too much attention to everything else to press space at the same time because, multitasking, that is far beyond my capabilities. Right, so we do have friendly coming up, but we are going to use this to make sure that we've got the under 20s friendly as well, to make sure we've got players and getting game time and getting as fit as we possibly can. Pazarek should be back in a few days. Pavlovic should be back in a few days as well. Jelicic, I'm guessing, is going to be on international duty, which is why he wasn't available for that. So we have a few players that we can hopefully have back soon as well. So those injuries that came through really did rip through the heart of the team. We lost a lot of our options in attacking midfield, a lot of our options in central midfield as well. So we are and at right back. So we are hoping to keep things up. There we go though. Tim Muller is now out for 5 weeks. Bugger. RJ says you saw him in Bruges for 3 years. A good player for sure, but Neymar liking the behaviour. I mean, you need a certain amount of petulance, don't you, RJ? That's the key to being a good player nowadays, right? Is that you need to be a little bit of a diva, a little bit of a prima donna. It's just standard behaviour from here on in. So Pandy's in. Panji, welcome in. How you doing, sir? How's your week been? Zerachul, oh cock, indeed. I mean, we know that this is our last season with Darmstadt. We have already committed to leaving at the end of the season. And so there's almost like this inevitable march towards our own decline, and we're just seeing it in real life. Here we go. New York Red Bulls have come in with a loan offer. Skitter isn't interested, and they're offering us basically bugger all for it, so that's going to be a no. Even though we want Skitter gone, his value has absolutely tanked over the course of the season because we wanted him gone. So it kind of does kind of restrict what we're going to be doing in that regards. But that said, it's not going to be our problem down the line. So I have been keeping an eye out. We haven't had any job interviews during the course of the season. They all came in the off season last year. So this season we've seen Dortmund sack their coach. We've seen Villa sack their coach. Chelsea, a whole load of teams like kind of around that level, probably a little bit above where I would expect us to be looking, have made changes and not considered us. So it'll be interesting to see what our position is when it comes round to it at the end of the season. So who's going to play? We're going to have Dvorak in. Pazarek shouldn't be in midfield. That's going to be Dick. Isaac. Dick there. Can we get a Darabio in? We can get a Darabio in. Let's pop to the left-hand side version of that, which would actually see us do something like this, maybe. So that we would swap those guys round. Benedict Wimmer could do with starting a game for fitness purposes. Mark Alki isn't really a first team player. He's just kind of there to make up numbers on the bench. And that's what we're going to do with some of these guys as well. So we have some options there. Stefanov, Schubert. What about the under 19s? Are they playing this week? They're not. So we can pop Ivor Biggin on there. Huge Shafter. Yeah, there's 11 subs. That's about right to do. I think we can probably then sub most of the players at halftime and instant result the second half. Essentially, this is just about getting morale and fitness. So let's see how these guys do. Can we win a game against Garching, a team that essentially doesn't... I think that are essentially non-league, so we don't know. So Rich says, don't forget to check your whispers. Indeed. So I've got my laptop over there on the left, which I can't really read I can't read details on it. Whereas I don't have Twitch open here. So on my actual PC, I don't, you should say, it's a mess, my PC. We've got like my little OBS up in the right hand corner. We've got all the controls around the outside of the screen, and then the game in the middle. Cool. Let me see what I can do there. Ah, right. Okay. So I am Jim, Gimn, which I'm happy to dox myself. Those are my initials. So from about 2006 to 2021, 2022, my name on the forums was just my actual name, because I think you just gave your name back in the old days. And I eventually got it changed before I released the first Musterman skin, I think, because I felt really weird having my full name as a username. So say it loudly's in. Welcome in, my dude. How are you? All good here. Good to see. Just wondering, is your halfback getting that defender left space on transition? So the halfback, we actually tends to pick up in. I will have to double check here. Is he on stay wider? Yes. So he does tend to drop kind of into that spot, but sometimes we put the centre back. No, we don't need to do that for this game. We put the centre back on stay wider, at which point the halfback tends to drop in a little bit more centrally. So it does change every now and then, depending on how we're kind of set up exactly. Zerachor, pro streamer, absolutely. We will never ever accuse me of that. That's for sure. DM Basis says you very stupidly used your full name for basically every username ever until I finally decided I should use something else. I mean, once you've chosen a username, even if it is your full name, like going through the effort of changing it everywhere just feels like such a pain. I had one of those Google does it. Hey, your password's been picked up on the dark web. You need to change 412 passwords or whatever it does. It wasn't that bad. And like the amount that I just wanted to like let it be. I was like, I really wanted to just not have to go through the effort of changing every single part. I've done it because, you know, security matters a little bit, but just a pain in the arse. Right, here's Dyke. We're 10 minutes into the game. We have had a couple of half chances like that. Not really a great chance so far. Sherbs is in. Welcome in, Sherbs. Lovely to see you, my dude. How are you? John says, so you misspelt my name once and everyone started using that as my nickname. That's definitely one way for it to happen. I mean, that's all right though, because if it's a misspelling, right? that does kind of make it a unique nickname in some respect, even if it is one that celebrates a mistake. Right, here's Asnu. Asnu takes aim, and that's over. So, credit where it's due. We are having shots against a non-league team. Credit where it's not due. Our finishing has been absolutely arse. So let's work the ball into the box. But as we're going to be a little bit more patient around the edge, let's add a bit more risk by upping that mentality. We're going to draw this game, aren't we? We are going to draw this game. It's going to be the plan to get us a nice big win, to help morale out a little bit. It's going to hideously backfire. FMGNG's in. Welcome in, my dude. How are you, sir? How's your week been? Let's give the man a shout out. Now, again, I mean, one, definitely go and follow FMGNG over on Twitch, then head on over to YouTube and give him a follow there as well, because what he's doing over on YouTube deserves considerably more views. As Dvorak takes aim from 20 yards out, basically straight at the goalkeeper. That's the morale booster we needed. We need to score shit goals like this one. Okay, it's about 25 yards out, but it was pretty much down the middle, grubbing along the ground. Slow, easy to save. But we'll take it. We will take a goal however it comes, because these could be our only goals of the stream. Right, 23 minutes in, we're 1-0 up. Nice up dick. Out wide to Adarabioyo. Adarabioyo pushing forward, going to send that cross in. Clinton at the far post. There we go. There we go. It's offside though. Was it really? Okay, there we go. I guess it was Isaac Dick who was offside surely from that, because Clinton looked miles behind the play. Isaac Dick now. Here we go. Sends the cross in again. De Niro's header this time is over. It's a shame. Right, so DMBase has just seen £40 return flights to Santander next Friday, Saturday. Might have to pounce on that and just pray I can get the Friday off work. That sounds like a bargain. That would be incredible. Yeah. I mean, I'm guessing what, £40, that's got to be EasyJet, Ryanair, something like that, right? So it's £40, but if you want to have breathable oxygen, you have to pay an extra £5. And if you want them to remember to close the door, that's another £5 as well, right? Actually, that's more EasyJet, isn't it, than Ryanair? So Say It Loud, he says, I remember the days having individual passwords for any platform, website, app, but probably were 10 to 12 altogether. It was website name followed by minus 55 AP, pass backwards. Now I have 200 and don't know them. The password manager features, I mean, it's so useful for creating unique passwords, but it kind of makes me feel uncomfortable that I now don't know most of my passwords. For a while, and I don't have this anymore, but I used to have the password would be the same first word, and then the last letters would be a reference to where Aston Villa finished the previous season at the time of making the password. Which one wasn't helpful because for 3 seasons Villa finished 6th in a row. But also it meant that if I couldn't remember the password, I'd have to somehow expect myself to remember when I created the password to be able to look that up, which I couldn't. It's absolutely dumb. Absolutely dumb of me. We're only 1-0 up. Oh my god, we're shit. We are absolutely awful. This is quite horrendous. Either Biggin there. Pazarek makes his return. Huyin inside. So Schafferl, Alki, Schubert, McCracken, Shafter, Tilger. That's a whole 11 change. We will instant result the second half because it is just a friendly, as we did say before the game. But oh my word, oh dear. And we so there we go. There was that morale building big win that we planned. We had 32 shots. Scored just one goal. We conceded 1 of 2 shots on target. I think we're in trouble, guys. Our plan to resign at the end of the season. Maybe we'll get pushed before then. It feels like it's plausible. Oh dear. Right, okay. So Mr. Echo has a look up for Kotarashvili. Let's have a look here. Kotarash should be enough. There is indeed a central midfielder currently playing for Levante. He's now 31 years old. I say playing for Levante. We're now in March. He doesn't have any appearances for the senior side there. Just some substitute appearances for the national side. He's going to be joining Elfsborg in the summer. So 135 games, 9 goals. Let's take a look here. So very much on the fringes there. One league start in the first season in La Liga 2. Couple of starts once they moved up to La Liga. Started to play some games semi-regularly here. 14 starts, 1 goal, 4 assists in the 25-26 season. Again, another 14 starts, 3 goals this time round. And then in the 27-28 season, by far and away his best season. They've been relegated down to the second division once again. 18 starts, 4 goals, 6 assists. And evidently they looked at that and went, hey, he's finally playing well, so we're not going to play him anymore. So the following season, he played just 7 games. Loaned out to Twente the season after, where he wasn't particularly good. And now en route to heading over to Sweden. Elfsborg are in... What is Elfsborg's history then? So they finished second. They've been bouncing all over the place. Haven't won since the save started. So there's a second, a 4th, 10th, 11th, 6th, 2nd, 12th. So it looks like he's now going to be making his way to... I think if you average it out, that makes him a mid-table team, that's for sure. Definitely, that doesn't look like... I mean, who knows? They were second only a couple of seasons ago. Maybe they could bounce back this season. But yeah, a little bit of a disappointing career it looks like for Kotarashvili, I'm afraid to say. So RJ asked, are you happy with Koretsas' first games, by the way? Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, his debut, I know that there was a lot of hype going into it, and people were saying, oh, he was brilliant on his debut. He really changed the game for Greece. I think certainly there is an element of his presence on the pitch meant that we were a little bit more attacking it. He was willing to cut inside quite a lot, which opened up space for Rotter to get down the right. But I didn't think he really did much in that first game. A lot of our play came through pretty much every other player on the pitch in that second half. But his full debut, that start, that second leg, that goal. Oh, yes, I'm delighted. I'm delighted with him. To say it loudly says exactly that, as we were talking about passwords there. The fear is to lose pass manager access. God, yeah, that would be horrendous. Johnson says that his is the one same password I decided when I was like 9. Depending on if you need capital letters, there are small changes. Fair enough. Coded password reminders on a digital notepad. Blue Baron, that is what I do now. I have a series of very, very stupid clues. So my when I create my own passwords, usually that's kind of in work where I'm not using a password manager or something. I will make sure that there are like 3 or 4 different elements to that password. And then put in a whole load of like cryptic crossword clues into my phone to kind of remind me. Which kind of works, apart from 2-3 years down the line, I look at it and I go, what on earth is all that? And it kind of is enough to stir the memory. I won't necessarily be able to work out how I came up with that clue. Like if I was to look at the clue on its own and go, I would never have picked up that it would have meant that. But yeah, sometimes it's just about enough to do the honours. Welcome in, by the way, David. Lovely to see you. Beautiful, beautiful human. How are you doing, sir? Now, if you guys aren't following David, you most absolutely should. The only problem being is that I don't know how to spell the word shout out. And I've put a space in his name, which doesn't really help that at all. So up in the top right hand corner, if you guys are over on Twitch, you will have a lovely little thing with a heart. Go click on that heart, because David is a glorious creator, mainly playing FM, occasionally a little bit of Euro Truck Simulator as well. I'm willing to go out on a limb. I'm willing to go out on a limb and say perhaps the greatest Dane of all time. Now it's a tight competition. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you've got David, you've got the mad scientist, you've got Brian Laudrup. I was hoping that I could think of some like historical figures, but now I can't. Oh, Hans Christian Andersen, then Nicholas Bentner. Yeah, I think that's about right. So definitely go and show him a little bit of love if you're not following him already. Please do. So FMGNG says the password Villa issue was another reason for your dislike of Martin O'Neill. Exactly. He ruined my password system. So Mr. Echo says that Korashashvili often goes to Sporting Lisbon. Oh, it's good he moves to Sporting Lisbon in real life, because FM always predicts him to be rotten in Levante. Fair enough. Evidently doing quite well. RJ, it's crazy that Kuretsis is only 17. I mean, his quality, the future is really bright. Like with Kuretsis, Kouliarakis, Konstantelios, Mouzakitis as well. There's a lot to feel really positive about at the moment. A cryptic crossword stream when, oh god, this is the problem, is I'm happy to write cryptic crossword clues. I am so bad at cryptic crosswords. I don't know if any of you have, like, on Instagram, there's a guy that does like little 1 minute run through of cryptic crossword clues that keeps on coming up in my feed. And I'll see the clue and they'll walk through that whole process. And oh my word, I have no idea what's going on. I just completely and utterly bowled over by it all. You have Howard Bluetooth as well. How did I miss Howard Bluetooth? A fair shout. Richard's definitely Bentner. There's the Sunderland bias coming in. And there's the Rangers bias coming in. I do love me some Brian Laudrup. Right, so Tactical Obsession. You're half Scot, half Greek. Scotland sat way too deep, dwelled on the ball too much and kept passing back. They weren't aggressive for the ball and not really getting forward. But that young Greek has so much talent and potential. Hopefully they don't restrict him and let him be expressive. I mean, I think we've done a great job in choice of manager. So he was the Panathinaikos manager the last few seasons, Jovanovic that is. And it does seem like he's going to give that platform to have a little bit of freedom to go and attack, which is really refreshing. Greece has had a history of going for defensive coaches in the past. So it's going to be interesting to see if we can hold our nerve when sometimes it doesn't necessarily go to plan, because there will be absolute tonkings will be on the receiving end of it at times. And it's just about accepting that will happen sometimes when that's the quality of team. Dutch FM's in. Welcome in, my dude. How are you? I'm doing well. I say I'm doing well. We're having a pretty rotten time of it when it comes to this save at the moment, but that's part and parcel of FM. So here we go. Our game away against Schalke. They're going to be playing two up top. So let's remember to take mark-specific player off. They are playing with a attacking midfielder. So that means we're going to ask the halfback to keep an eye on him. Are we doing it on the left-hand side or are we doing it on the right-hand side, actually? I prefer left-hand side attack because that works better with the attacking midfielders we've got. So that should be fine. We'll go with Highland. The right is our more defensive option. Adarabayo is almost close enough to being match fit. It's only taken us about 1 billion weeks to get him that close. Schmidt, left back, is going to be Asnu, who's leading our assists right now with 10 for the season. In midfield, we will go with Pavlovic, and we're going to put McNulty higher up. which I like there. The right winger should be Pazarek. We're going with Pazarek. We've missed him. He's not quite ready to be back, but whilst we've not had him in the team, our results have been shit. So let's run with that, and we're going to go with Dvorak alongside Abdullahi with De Niro injured. So Wimmer, I mean, I don't know why I'm thinking about this. We don't have enough players to fill our bench anyway, so we put them all in. And then I suck dick will be the last player to get the call. We'll start on balanced we'll start on attacking. We're going to try and get how about we try and get the lead off right from the start and see how it goes from there. Right, so Marin asks, are you partly Greek? I am indeed. I am half Greek. So as any good Brit should be, any Brit worth their salt will try their utmost to avoid being British, and therefore, when it comes to international sports, I am Greek. I don't support England, which well, it certainly upset some of my friends, that's for sure. But yeah, there we go. Right, so Say It Loudly asks, can I check Nathan Zeze? So Say It Loudly, we do have that as a points redeem over on Twitch, because part of it is that I want to make sure that we're not just spending all stream just looking up players. So if you want to have players checked up, pop on over to Twitch. There should be a link in the description there over on YouTube. And then once you accumulate enough points, you're able to then redeem it. My tactical session is living in Kalamata. Very nice. As Walter is in behind. Right, we're already moving down to balance. That's two pretty decent chances for Schalke off the top. Here comes a corner as Marnie sends it in with his left foot into that near post area. Schifel gets up. Here's Hipper. Hipper feeds us Marnie. We're slow to get out to close, and the shot is blocked. Felix Paslak into Vandenberg and across. Right, let's try and encourage these guys, see if we can get them to maybe stem the tide, because early showings are not very good right now. Larios down the line to Engby. Engby holds the ball up, plays it back to Choeon. Choeon has scored a couple of absolutely cracking goals against us in the past. I genuinely hate just Choeon. How he keeps on scoring like awesome goals as a centre back is very, very upsetting. Here's Paslak. Plays it inside to Templeman. It was a lovely, lovely ball inside Templeman. That should have been 1-0. That absolutely should have been 1-0. Right, is this going to be a highlight for us? Or no, it's not. No, it's not. We're going to give the ball away. Here's Darman. Darman looking to go long with his kick. Sends it up. Here we go. Schifel loses out. Here's Walter to Engby. Engby plays it inside to Walter. First touch is good. The angle was tight. Good block in the end. This is absolutely arse. Right, so we're going to the 4-3-3, which will mean Clinton here. Havlovic is going to be something like that. So they want him to play as an advanced playmaker. Let's do that. Havlovic in the more attacking role. The instructions basically stay the same. He's on a mark specific player, which is good. Right. Paslak with the corner. Sends it into the near post. Schifels gets there first. Pazarek comes away with the ball. Tries to send it down the line, just clears it out for a throw-in. Always better to be safe than sorry. Right, RJ had to go. I do apologise. Lovely to see you, my dude. Thank you for coming along. So David Nolholm says, I wasn't going to mention this, but there seems to be a few oversight in everyone's mind. Schmeichel. No, Schmeichel isn't it. Neither Schmeichel is part of the top 10 Danes. I won't allow it. Harley's got to be offside there, surely. Schmidt comes back and makes the tackle anyway. He plays it back to Hyland. Not sure how on earth that wasn't flagged. I know we won the challenge, but systems weren't there. But now Hlinson comes away with it. Hlinson, the angle wasn't really there for the shot, but he fires it off the legs of the defender and wins a corner. We have scored very few goals from corners this season. It looked like at the beginning of the season that we were going to be quite effective from corners, so I changed our delivery to short most of the time, so I don't want to take advantage of something that might be disproportionate. And subsequently, I think we've gone a little bit too far the other way. So Rich says, regarding Bentner, it's not Sunderland bias because he was bang average at best. Was only on loan as well. I mean, that's probably a fair description of his whole career as well. He was kind of bang average at best. We've done better. So the change does seem to have stemmed the tide a little bit. I mean, all it's really done is just killed the game off. But a draw would be quite nice right now. So let's see how we go here. I think we're going to keep with the squad as it is currently. We will need to make some changes though. We are currently fielding like 4 centre backs. So we can open things up with player selection in the second half and substitutes. Right, here's Schafel, goes all the way back. We move backwards so often. Schmidt to Asnu. Asnu, he's got some space. Can he get the cross in? He sends it in. Abdullahi heads it over though. He was offside. It's all fine. Absolutely fine. So bear me one moment. I am miles behind there. As Zerichel says, Ventnor was good in his first season in Rosenborg. Fair enough. I mean, is that... I'm assuming that was the beginning of his career rather than at the end. But I don't know. Here's Dvorak at the far post. Dvorak. That's a decent chance. That was a decent chance. Dvorak probably should have done a little bit better there. Right, Asnu loses out. Templeman comes away. None of us are paying attention to them pouring forwards. The 2 players are marked. Asnu, though, makes the challenge. Holds it up for a little bit. He plays it back to Paslak. Paslak loses out to Garcia McNulty. Abdullahi plays it across to Dvorak. Can we counter-attack now? Garcia McNulty. Garcia McNulty into Linson. Linson plays it behind. Pavlovic is surely offside. There we go. There's the flag coming up. The wheels have come off the Darmstadt bus. It does feel that way. It does feel that way. So Berry is looking for Volante on support. Hung Min recommends McTominay. Not a bad shout. Not a bad shout at all. Right, so what changes are we going to make here? The change we're going to make here is... Dinero's not really match fit. Let's bring on... Nürnberger's coming on for Darby. That's slightly more attacking now in Nürnberger on the left there. And Pavlovic is coming off, and Keegan Jelicic makes his return. Just move up to positive. Let's see if we can take a bit more initiative as we move into this second half. So I do apologise, by the way, guys, if I've missed any of your comments, do feel free to repeat them as well. I recognise that I am quite a bit behind, so I'm going to skip ahead a little bit on the chat, so I'm afraid. So tactical obsessions, because like you might be half Scottish, half Greek, but you're Scottish. That's fair enough. Johnny Trotter's redeemed player lookup as well for Nathan Zeze, so we'll do that after the game. That'll be cool. So Berry wants someone young and cheap, somewhere around 7 million. How far into the game are you, Berry? Right, Abdullahi gets the ball to Jelicic. Jelicic hits the post, I think. Was that the post? It wasn't the post. It's just wide. Just wide. Right, Sharon into Osmani. Garcia McNulty steps in. Nürnberger comes away with it. His touch is heavy, but Asnu gathers. McNulty out wide to the right. Run down the... There's a rubbish pass anyway, so I can't blame him too much for that. Right, here's Larios. Beats his man, cuts inside. Larios keeps him going, feeds Engby. Engby shoots. Martin Engby was a player that we looked at like 18 months or so ago. So, a good player, a player we quite like the look of. Hopefully, us not going in for him won't be too costly. Right, change is coming in. Dvorak is now coming off. Stenbring is going to come on as an inside forward on attack. Pazarek has done brilliant on his return from injury, but he's looking tired, so we're going to make a change there as well. Let's try and increase that tempo. Can we get... We're already on get further forwards. Gonna I want them. There's too many times where there's been space out on those flanks for them to run into, and they just sort of stand there waiting. Can we get something in the last few moments? Here's a throw-in. Asnu to Nürnberger. Huyin. Ball, unfortunately, was very, very floated, and they were able to come across. But Huyin picks it up now. Sends the cross into the far post. Choaon gets there first. Asnu. It's a good save from Finn Darman. Adam's in. Welcome in. As is Maestro. Welcome in, dudes. Lovely, lovely to see you both. How are you doing? Right, here's the cross coming in. Schafel can't get to the second ball. Asnu's touch is bad, and Templeman comes away with the ball. We intercept. Okay, it's now throw-in manager. Asnu sends it into Stenbring. Stenbring's header hits the bar and over. Are we going to score? I don't think so. Our last change. What is our last change possible? Is it going to be De Niro? I think we're going to bring on De Niro for Linson. That's going to see us push Jelicic into this role. It's essentially, it's still a 4-3-3. We're just being really, really aggressive about it. Here we go. Injury time. Corner to Schalke. Paslak. He's pointing at the ball. He sends the cross in low and hard. Schafel gets there clear. Rahn back to Paslak. Someone's going to go out and close him, surely. No, they're not. Balls! Dang! Yes! Yes! What's the offside? What's the offside? What? It's okay. Osmani now. Back to Larios. Larios to Hipper. Hipper shoots from distance. Get back into midfield, Jelicic. Get back into midfield, my man. Osmani with the corner. We've got 90 seconds to hold on. He sends it into that near post. Abdullah's the man to clear it this time. He goes out. He lets it go for a throw-in. They've obviously got something planned. It's Larios into Osmani. Back to Larios. Larios has the space. Sends the cross in. Can Hyland claim it? He can. Hyland, just like fall over. Pretend you're injured. Let us hold on to a point. Why am I desperate for a point away against Schalke? Oh my god. The season has fallen apart. De Niro into Jelicic. Jelicic plays it out wide. Here's Huyin. Huyin down to Stenbring. Stenbring cuts inside, cuts it across to Asnu. Asnu! It's blocked. It's blocked. Oh, Nürnberger with the corner. This is surely the last highlight of the game. He's going to send it into that near post. We can't win our headers at the near post. Asnu! We're destined to not score, guys. We are destined to not score. That was another sensational save. Oh boy. It's a proper even game in the end. XG essentially identical. That disallowed goal, that is criminal. Schalke have been robbed. That said, we come up against another fantastic goalkeeping performance, so we can feel a little bit aggrieved too. And that means we drop down to 9th spot. We're behind Gladbach now. Gladbach beat Wolfsburg 3-1. Oh my. We both got away with one, and we can feel absolutely robbed. Right, Say It Loudly reckons that Villa will beat Arsenal on aggregate in the Champions League. Mark my words. I mean, I hope we do. That would be incredible. We first have to get past Paris Saint-Germain, though, which could be quite tricky. Right, so the flights are booked, DM bassist. Awesome. I mean, do you need to book the day off? Like, if you try and book the day off and they say no, that prevents you from them pulling a sickie on Friday. Whereas, if you say nothing and just pull a sickie on Friday morning, you're fine. Like, that's perfect, right? Perfect. No question marks about it whatsoever. Cool. Right, we have a break coming up. I'm going to refill my drink. I'm going to have a vape. I'm going to cry in the corner because we're a little bit rubbish. But before then...
It's not the statistics! It's not the statistics! You tell me! How do you measure somebody that could balance a balloon in a wind tunnel on a needle?
Oh, Bill Houdini, what a gentleman you are. You've been subscribed for 4 months. Incredible. And very, very much appreciated. Thank you kindly. I do have about a minute. Let me click that on snooze. We'll get the ads on snooze. Nathan Zeze, let's have a look up here. He is currently on loan from Sassuolo, playing at Udinese, where he's been starting reasonably regularly. He wins 77% of his tackles, 73% of headers, which is quite impressive. He's on the ball a lot, but not very progressive, so keeps it very, very safe. Not too bad when it comes to carrying the ball, which isn't too bad. 6.8 average rating doesn't look that good, but we can certainly, accept that, generally speaking, if everything else is on board. So it wasn't until the second season in Save that he started to become a regular starter, where he's been pretty solid. 34 starts for a couple of seasons, and then got a 1.8 million euro move to Auxerre. That played a little bit during the season, not that great. 28 games played a fair amount the next season. He's never really had a sensational year, and then from 29 season onwards, it's kind of petered out. From a loan move to Sassuolo that was turned permanent, and then they loaned him out immediately. So yeah, kind of a little all over the place. Now, Berry, as I said, we have a break coming up, so we'll do the Omega lookup after we come back from the break now. Because if I keep on snoozing them, then when I need to snooze the ads during an important moment, we will have to we potentially lose that opportunity. So I'm going to see you guys in about 3-4 minutes, and then we'll come back. We'll play a little. We'll look up Omega, and maybe we can win some games in the Conference League. See you guys shortly.
What a head, son! What a head!
Relay Gegenpressing is here. Oh my, welcome on in, sir. We are currently in a little bit of an ad break right now, so there are some people who won't be catching this at all, but thank you so much for the raid. How was your stream today? How's your stream? Now guys, if you're not following Relay Hal, go on, give him a follow. What an absolute gentleman he is. It's lovely to see you, my dude. So we do, and that's perfect timing there. Now the ad break has finished. Welcome back, everyone. We have the glorious Relay L Gegenpressing in. Guys, give him a follow. Absolute. I mean, granted, it does help if you speak Spanish, but he's such a wonderful host that he is so accommodating, even if you don't. What an absolute gentleman he is. So before we went on a break, DM Basis says that because of the job he does, there's a couple of weeks that are sort of blocked out, but one day should be fine. So he's hopefully going on a last-minute one-day excursion to Santander on Friday. So I've got the hopes that you should be absolutely fine. But as I said, if not, pull a sickie. But don't tell anyone that I'm the one who told you to pull a sickie. Right, let's head on over. So whilst we're on the break, or just before the break, Berry redeemed a player lookup. Wants to have a look at see how Emmanuel Omega's getting on. So we're going to do that. Then Maestro redeemed a mystery mini game. So we'll then go on over and we'll play a little mini game as well. So Omega is currently at Lille, where he's having an absolutely sensational season here. 28 goals in 2,640 minutes. That's just shy of 1 goal every 90 minutes. Absolutely incredible stuff. We know he's an awesome player in the game. And he is very much proving that point. So it's 32 goals in 52 games. So he evidently had quite a bad start to his career in Lille. Let's have a look here. So last season he joined from Strasbourg for 37.5 million euros. Only scored 1 in 3. 10 goals in 31 games, or 13 in 38 in all competitions. Before that at Strasbourg he never really hit those heights either. His best league season was just 12 goals in 26 games. He is a little bit injury prone, so maybe that contributes to that a little bit. Yeah, so an 8, 12, 10, 10, 7, 9. It's only really started to come together for him this season. Now 28 years old, just the 12 caps for the Netherlands. Not bad. Not bad. Cool. So what are we going to do for today's mini game next? I think we're going to head on over and play a little bit of bingo. So the way that bingo works, guys, it's a relatively straightforward game. Every single player. Let's start that sentence again. In the chat, both on Twitch and YouTube, there is now a link to join the game. Or you can go to playfootball.games, go to bingo, and enter the room code that currently appears on screen, E7SED. The way the game works is every single player gets a unique bingo card with 16 squares on it. Those squares might contain a club, or a player, or a manager, or a competition, or a record like most goals in said competition. We all then get the exact same list of players, 60 players in total, revealed one after the other. You get 10 seconds to assign that player to one of the squares. So if you get Cristiano Ronaldo, for example, and you have a Portugal flag as one of your squares, you could put him on Portugal. Or maybe you have a Man United or a Real Madrid flag badge. You could assign them to those. But maybe you have nothing. Maybe you have no squares that match, at which point you can skip. Your job is to try and get bingo by matching up a player to every single square that you've got. Once you fill a square, you can't undo it. You can't assign another player to that square. So maybe you get Cristiano Ronaldo and you play him on Portugal. And then a little bit later, you get Gonzalo Ramos. And Gonzalo Ramos doesn't match any of your other squares. You can't now put him on Portugal. You just have to skip. And it turns out that you didn't know that it might have been better to put Cristiano Ronaldo on that Real Madrid or Man United square. So it's a little bit of luck and guesswork. So you need a little bit of football knowledge, a little bit of luck, and hopefully everyone else will make some mistakes as well. So we'll see how it goes. We're going to give you about another 90 seconds or so that people can register, and then we head on into it. Now, I have my screen shared, so I'm going to take it very, very slowly. because I don't want to get out ahead so that you guys get before knowledge of what players are coming up. You know, a little bit of gamesmanship on my behalf. Right, okay, so whilst we're doing that, let's catch up a little bit there. Raleha, so it's total madness today in Romania. Lost in penalties with Partizan in the Conference League semi-finals. Val Costanza won the league in our face in the 96. Oh my word. Won the cup, forcing the extra time with a 95th minute equaliser and winning on penalties against a relegated team. A drew with Steaua Bucharest on the last league match in the 93rd minute by his goalkeeper. Oh my word, that is a crazy stream. My word. That is something. So Zerachal says that bingo is the bane of his existence. DMB bassist loves the bingo minigame, even if I'm usually shite at it. It is, I mean, it's challenging. It is amazing how good it is at exposing just how little I know about footballers. You feel confident, and then suddenly, like, your mind just goes blank. But that's part of the charm of it, right? That's what kind of makes it a good little challenge. So, right, yeah, we're ready to head on in. And let's see how we do. Game will start in 9 seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right, so Jamie Vardy is the very first one up here. And as you can see, we've got all these lists here. Is he the Spanish top division Golden Boot winner? Has he played for Sporting Club de Portugal? That's essentially how it works. We're now going to look through these and see if he matches any of these criteria. Next up is Alan St. Maximin. I don't think he meets any of these criteria either, so we can let that pass. Gerard Moreno. Now, do we have... Oh, he might have been the Spanish top division scorer, but I don't know, so I'll let that one pass. We do have Alan Shearer. Now, Alan Shearer, I am pretty confident that Alan Shearer is English, so I will play that one. Giorgio Chiellini. Has Chiellini been managed by Tuchel? I don't think so. Has he played in the Dutch top division? I don't think so. We'll let that one pass by as well. Edouard Mendy. Interesting. Now, Mendy might be there when Tuchel was there. I'm not 100% certain on that one either. Antonio Silva. I know so little about Antonio Silva, so I'm going to let that one pass as well. We've got so many players and 16 to match, so that's kind of okay as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anything about Fabian Barthez. I can't remember where he was before Man United. See, this is what I mean by completely exposing a lack of knowledge. Real Madrid hasn't won the European Cup Golden Boot. Hasn't won the Spanish top division Golden Boot either. He won't have won Copa America. Nani, I finally feel confident that I can play a part there. Now, Martin Terrier, I associate with Lyon, and I think that's because of an addition of Football Manager. I know he's been at lots of clubs. I couldn't tell you who. Angelo Ogbonna. Again, I don't feel like he matches any of these. Alexander Pavlovic. We have Alexander Pavlovic in our save. He's been doing okay for us. Pervis Stupinian. Interesting. It's not Bosnian. I don't think he matches any of those. Roberto Abondanzieri. Oh, would he have won the Copa America? We've let it run anyway now. Brian McClare could have been a top scorer in the European Cup, but I have no idea there. Noni Madueke, he joined Chelsea after Tuchel had left, I think. But he did play for PSV, didn't he? So we can play that one. Was Lizarazu at Monaco? I don't know. Yusuf Fofana. We're skipping on that one as well. Ricardo Quaresma would have done for Portugal. Was he at Barca at the same time? I'm going to risk it. Eric Dyer was at Sporting, so we'll go with that one there. Jamie Gittins. We will pass on Gittins. Enrico Chiesa. Skipping there. Jared Branthwaite can go for Everton. I feel confident on that one. Juan Sebastian Veron. I mean, Copa America winner is probably a good choice there, but we're passing over here. Dwight York doesn't match any of them. Matthias de Ligt. He won't match any of those, I don't think. Oh, he might be managed by Tuchel, actually, at Bayern. Bugger. Daniel Sturridge. Surely doesn't match any of those. Marcus Alonso. We're going to pass on that as well. Takumi Minamino. That's a Monaco. There's one. We got a Monaco one, I know. Florent Malouda. Yeah, passing there. Christophe Dugarry. Did he win the European Cup Golden Boot before the 91-92 season? I don't think so. Mario Balotelli won't have done. Alessio Romagnoli. I don't think he goes for any of them. Tim Howard. Everyone's favourite Bosnian. Tim Howard, right? Christian Pulisic. Edin Dzeko. There we go. We can do that now. Asmir Begovic was at Tottenham. Wasn't he a Tottenham reserve goalkeeper for a while? He was at Chelsea. Oh, yeah, we're passing on that one. Dante. Bissouma, I'm okay with. Robinho. Robinho must have won the Copa America. I'm going with it. Christian Panucci, we can pass on. Michael Laudrup. Michael Laudrup. Let's say he finished top scorer at some point. Billy Gilmore. Chelsea at Tuchel time? I'm going to risk it. Right, Hamzik. Zé Roberto. Romario. Denilson. Hugo Lloris. Ross Barkley. Ilkay Gundogan. We need a player from before the 91-92 season who scored a lot of goals. Eusebio will do. So let's see how we go. So that was bloody shocking from DM Basis. Coritiba was so close but so far. Oh my word, Coritiba, you were so close. Coritiba, incredible work there. 15 out of 16 correct. A trademark dreadful performance from Sherbs. Okay, five is a little bit tough, that is for sure. Let's see there. So we have, with 15 correct, Coritiba gets a grand 5 points in our lovely little all-time list there. Then in second, we've got Lukita and Maestro. You'll be getting 4 points each. And then Outfarby and Johnny Trotter come joint fourth, as they'll be getting 2 points each. Jeff Badman just on the outside there. Unfortunate. FMGNG, Dante, Billy Jeans, Marin, DMB, all with good showings. Well done, guys. Well done. Lovely to see that. So, Quaresma has not played with Messi. Laudrup did not win, whatever that was. Good work. This one was very difficult. My word, it was difficult. It was very difficult. So, question over on YouTube. What resolution is the skins on Patreon? So, the skins on Patreon, we have... They're all specific use. So, we have some which are for 2560 by 1440, which is for Moneyball Clinic videos. Then for the ones that we use on stream, they're either at 1680 by 900, sorry, 1600 by 900 or 1600 by 1080. Like Topmuller's taken over at Hannover. Interesting. Isn't that a game we've got coming up? It is indeed. New manager bounce just in time. I feel like it's set up so that we definitely lose that game. Maybe I'm being far too cynical in that regard. So, DM Basis, you're going to lurk for a while whilst you play some Assassin's Creed. I'm here in spirit. Well, thank you very much anyway for lingering around. I don't blame you, sir. How is the new Assassin's Creed? Are you enjoying? Why am I asking you questions? You're playing a game. Ignore me asking you questions. Mr. Echo, why am I Dante 21 in there? Is that what you put? Is that what you put? There we go. Right, so yeah, our next game's coming up. It's the Conference League. It's against Slovakian side, Dunajska Streda. They did very well, knocking out Osijek in the previous round, Offi Crete in the round before that on penalties. So they've done pretty well. They were 13th overall in the league stage, only 3 points off automatic qualification in that little bye round as well. So it's not going to be a straightforward, easy game, but we have, generally speaking, been pretty solid in Europe. So there's a mixture of hope and optimism that we should be okay. We'll get Sahinovic in playing the under-19s game if it will allow it, because a goalkeeper can easily play multiple games back to back. Oh, youth candidates. Sorry, that's why I stopped where we were. We've got our youth candidates in. So I was going to try and progress the game up until the match whilst we were in the minigame. But there's a reason I stopped when I did. The reason I stopped is because we've got a new announcement of youth players. And we do have an elite talent. A potential elite talent. Here is Armin Meyer, a fairly sporting striker that can play out on either wing. Described as a winger. He has decent acceleration and pace, decent balance. That's encouraging. Good technique, can dribble. First touch needs work. Passing vision needs work. Off the ball needs work. So he looks like he should be all right. Knocks ball past opponent, runs the ball often. Winds up. He's fairly sporting, but he winds up opponents. Doubt. Yeah, he looks like he should be kind of okay, actually. Isn't injury prone, which is marvellous. So yeah, he's obviously a long way off. We're not going to see him come to fruition as a player at Darmstadt anyway. But that's probably the best player we've had come through at this point. Jascha Ebers is a goalkeeper, a fickle goalkeeper. He's currently got good agility, good decisions. Like, nothing particularly special there. Bad first touch, bad reflexes. Bad reflexes. That feels like something that's probably going to be too big a hurdle to overcome for a goalkeeper. But yeah, maybe there's some hope there. And then a number of kind of players on the fringes. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Right, so Bill asks, are you set on leaving after all? I missed a couple of streams. Yes, we will be leaving at the end of the season. So the way that we've kind of looked at it was that because I had a meltdown in real midway through the season, that feels like the kind of thing that if that happened to a manager, that's the beginning of the erosion of that relationship between the manager and the fans. And so we'll use that as a narrative device within the stream, within the save itself. It feels like the stress of the season feels like that's created that terminal point that kind of like terminal point in the relationship between us and Darmstadt. So we were willing to accept job interviews coming up. But if we don't get any during the course of the season, we will then step down at the end of the year. I think it kind of makes sense for the flow of the season. So yeah, at the end of the season, we'll be stepping down. Now, whether we might stay within Germany, we might head across to, maybe we're looking at kind of probably the less tropical climates in Europe. So, we're a humble Finnish lad. That's our where we've been as a We've come from Finland. Germany doesn't seem that weird. Netherlands, North France, maybe North Italy, UK. They seem like places we probably focus on. Southern Italy, Spain, Portugal might just be a little bit too warm for our liking. At least that's the thought. Right, so let's change to the 4-3-3. And let's make some changes accordingly. So that's going to be Nürnberger in there, Abdullahi up top, Dvorak in that advanced playmaker, position, inside forward on attack, central midfielder on attack. Darabio is not going to be a starter as an attacking wing-back in that situation. Garcia McNulty, Nürnberger, Pavlovic. So we're thinking... Ooh, we're going to give... Jelicic wasn't great, but let's give him a start. He's back now from injury. Let's also move these guys round. So we're doing that. We're going to take our centre-backs out of the firing line. I would have loved Muller to have been in to give Asner a rest as well. But we can't, so Alka... McCracken. Can we get Ivor Biggin in? Let's pop him on the bench. He's, substitute number 12. He's not going to be a player that's coming on anyway. Let's have him to kind of fill that out. So Meltdown stream was fun. So was Crasher End stream. Oh, the Crasher End stream. My word. My word. And I will be, as I said, I think that played a large part into the Meltdown stream, because I'd had to spend all day up to that point trying to recreate those. Conference League time, baby. And we kick off. Abdullahi sends it out to Asnu. To Nero tries to play us in behind to get off the front foot well. And we're all right. We're all right. There we go. We want to get a big result if we can. Now, scoring goals has been a problem. But if we've got to go away from home for the second leg, we want to have a nice big margin to work with. But De Niro, unfortunately, was miles offside. I think he was behind the goalkeeper even when the shot came in. So I very strongly doubt that this is going to stand. And that has been ruled out. A goal in the first minute would have been very nice, but it was very, very unlikely here. De Niro was so far offside. So far offside, bless him. FMGNG says Victor Wanyama has signed for Dunfermline. I didn't know he was still playing. I didn't know he was still playing either. What a bizarre turn up for the books there. How old is Wanyama now? He's what? Actually, because he's one of those players that made the move. No, he's had Tottenham for a long time, right? So he's got to be like late 30s, right? It's Abdullahi with the volley into the side netting. So we're certainly starting on with the right attitude, at least. Can we break them down? Here's Garcia McNulty into Dvorak, to Pazarek. Back out to McNulty. Here we are. We're just passing the ball around. Are we going to make a chance in behind? Dvorak with the cross to Nero.
I need a goal. De Niro is what I need.
Hey.
I need a goal. De Niro is what I need.
Hey. It's our first goal of the stream. Proper goal of the stream. And it's De Niro at the far post from a Dvorak cross. That's what we've needed. Can we... I don't want us to be defending a narrow lead away from home in the second leg. So that would help.
I need a goal. De Niro is what I need.
Hey.
I need a goal. De Niro is what I need.
Hey. Oh, there we go. What on earth? Why, what is it about the Conference League that just seems to light a fire under the players? They certainly feel a lot more up for these games. And sure, you might be saying that Dunajska Streda, definitely pronounced wrong, aren't necessarily at the same quality as the rest of the Bundesliga, but they are this deep in the competition for a reason. Here's Herc. Back to Slavic. Slavic finds Brian Adai down on the right-hand wing. Right-hand wing? No one's ever said that. It's a great chance from Asnu, though, and we managed to clear our lines. Here is double goal scorer De Niro. De Niro at the double. Drives forwards, finds Dvorak. Jelicic is in behind. Jelicic is offside. Wanyama is only 33. Never Never. Crazy. Like, if you said 35, I would have thought that was young. I would have thought he was definitely like that. That was the... Is that offside? Now, Benedict Wimmer was very, very far forwards when Abdullah's header came in. It was a great save from Jakubek. It's going to stand. It's going to stand.
Stand, scoring like no tomorrow. Don't stand, the goals are here.
The goals most definitely are here. 3 goals in the opening 30 minutes. That's what I want. I want to be up by 3 goals by half time if we possibly can. Maybe look to get a 4th before the game is done. And that would be a nice cushion going into an away leg. Here's Pavlovic driving forwards, plays it in behind for De Niro. De Niro looking for that hat-trick, but he's denied by Jakubek. Yeah, like Wanyama, if you said 35, I would have gone, right, that's like the lowest of what I would believe. Crazy he's 33. Wimmer with the header over the top there. The spider on corner of the wall looking at you like... I'm scared as Abdullah makes it 4. Unfortunately, we are using up all our goals on this game. But that would be nice. How about that for a possible way to end our Darmstadt career? Is not the whole career, just the Darmstadt portion of it, would be to win the Conference League. Who cares if we finish like 10th or 11th? So Zerachel goes to make some food and it's a goal fest. So it's been you, Zerachel, all along. If only I knew. As Abdullah, it's a great save from Jakubek again. Crazy. Jakubek has had he's come away from this game looking pretty good at half time, despite conceding 4 goals. Dvorak sends it in. De Niro just missed. Okay, it doesn't look like it registered as a De Niro shot. I had a feeling that he just missed a chance from like 1 yard out with an open goal for a hat-trick, but it doesn't seem to be that way. So from a stats viewpoint, pretty solid. Going to say some very, very positive stuff there. And then we are going to push up to positive. Let's try and really, really kill this game off in the second half. Some more goals, and we could then be looking at, I think it's, so that would be semi-finals. This is the quarterfinals, right? I think. So suddenly we could potentially be within touching distance of a European final. That's the hope, at least. Right, Koatiba's going to make a Ladislav Almasi comp. Absolutely got to do that. That would be incredible. If only Ladislav Almasi fan was here to enjoy it. I suppose you can then pop it up in the Discord and he can pick it up there, which would be beautiful. Right, okay. So this is clearly all we needed to do was just bring in a couple more of the reserves. Komet with the header. Adai wins the header as well, but we managed to clear De Niro into Abdullah. He finds Jelicic. Jelicic out wide to Asnu. Asnu sends it into the far post. Dvorak has been in the air and Gavric comes away with it. Gavric now with a chance to come the other way. Feeds it forward to Mihailik. He feds Nebula. Nebula's in behind and Nebula makes it 4-1. Here comes the collapse. Here it is. Gavric plays it forward to Mihailik. I'm not sure. Wimmer, caught in 2 minds, didn't know whether to step up and engage or whether to follow the man. Instead did neither. Just stood there as the ball was played in behind him. And that is a lovely, lovely finish. Very, very much onside. Nebula played on, takes a touch, and then strikes it into the bottom corner. Highland with no chance whatsoever. Right. We haven't had any shots in the second half, so we will go back down to balanced. Comes forwards. Here's Nebula. Nebula tries playing it in behind. Pazarek cuts it out. We move forwards with Dinero to Abdulai. Abdulai holds the ball up, moves it back. Go inside to Nurnberger. Here's Jelicic. Jelicic plays Dinero in behind for the hat-trick. Dinero denied once again. Oh, the hat-trick is not going to come his way, bless him. Pavlovic sends the cross in. Abdulai, though, does get his second. And that means...
Jalal Abdulai, Abdulai, Jalal Abdulai, Jalal Jalal Abdulai, Abdulai, Jalal Abdulai.
Right, it's just highlight after highlight from the kickoff. Here's Gavric cuts inside. We lose out. Gavric once again feeds Ned Byler. That should have been 5-2. Right. No, don't play it again. Don't play it again. Stop. There we go. I pressed space to pause, but it was inside the soundboard thing. Right, drop back down to balanced. We are going to look to make changes here. We are going to bring in some of those starters. It's going to be Schmidt coming in for McNulty. It's going to be Linson there and Hu Yin for Pazarek. And I'm going to say I'm expecting to show up and none of them will react. So here we go. Last half hour or so. As I said, I wanted us really to have a 4-goal lead minimum coming into the second leg. So if we can hold our position from now on in, that'd be good. We can add to it, that'd be amazing. Here's Dinero in behind once again. He sends the cross in. Abdulai. This is it. Okay, so we've worked out what Jakubec's secret powers are. If you take a shot against Jakubec when you're on a hat-trick, he will deny you. He will make sure that you go home unhappy despite scoring 2 goals, as he once again makes a save from Abdulai's header there at the corner. It is corners seem to be very, very effective for us in this game. Nurnberger standing over it, sends it in, gets it clear, but Linson will come to the second ball. Nurnberger pushes it back, a chance maybe to recycle the ball. Can we get some width out here? Someone's going to come out. Nope, Asnu's just going to go on his own. Asnu's got some space. Plays it back to Schmidt. Schmidt's going to try and play something. Here's Pavlovic. Pavlovic has created space to shoot, maybe, and saved by Jakubek. Oh, okay. The game's over, right? We don't need this many highlights, unless we're about to score. At which point, highlights are welcome. Linson back to Hu Yin. Hu Yin down the line to Dvorak, and we go backwards again. Nurnberger splitting the defenders. Pavlovic out wide to Asnu. Asnu wins the penalty. Who takes the penalty? Our penalty taker is Christy Notfrich Linson. Neither Dinero or Abdulai are good penalty takers. Dinero's got really good composure though. Let's do it. Let's give Dinero the chance. The penalty now will be turned down. It's been awarded. Can Dinero get his hat-trick? He can!
I need a goal. Dinero is what I need. Hey. I need a goal. Dinero is what I need.
Hey. There we go. Absolutely beautiful penalty. High. The keeper had no chance, even if he guessed the right way. Right, last 15 minutes or so. Dinero can come off. Let's give him his standing ovation. And that means that we'll bring on Stembring. And then our last change is going to be Shataki on for Pavlovic. Pavlovic, like Pazarek, is a player that's coming back from injury. His injury was considerably less significant. It was only like a small one, but yeah, let's just manage their fitness in that regards. Right, ball forwards. Here's Herc. Loses out. It's a lovely tackle from Shiitake. Now Stenbring's going to drive forwards. Tries to find Dvorak, but the pass isn't good enough. But we do make the ball our way out there anyway. We do make the ball our way out there. There's a sentence. Linson's in behind. Linson fires it wide. Conference League matches are doing what friendlies should be doing to morale. They are. Can you believe that we are 6-1 up in the Conference League quarterfinals, yet we couldn't beat a non-league German team literally 2 weeks ago? Absolutely ridiculous. Right, Abdullah plays it back to Schmidt. We're coming up to the final few moments of the game now. There are just 20 seconds left of regular time. Should be probably like 3 or 4 minutes of injury time because of substitutes. Stenbring with a great chance fires over. We have generated 4.5 XG as well. So even though we are outperforming our XG, we're not outperforming it by a massive amount in that game. We have conceded over. But that means one thing.
Wait for SV Darmstadt, spam the golden motion. You can feel it every week. Mustard Dose rejoices, free your mind and join us. Gonna win the fucking league.
6-1, sorted. Sorted. So, Aston Villa look like they're through to the next round as well. They've got a massive 6-2 win at home against Dynamo Kiev. Basel and Ghent drew 3-3. Odense Bold Club and Sassuolo drew 1-1. You've got to favour the away teams there. You've got to favour Ghent and Sassuolo for those second legs. Realistically, they're all very, very good teams left in the competition. So whilst I talked about us having a chance of winning the Conference League, maybe let's not get ahead of ourselves. My bad there, forgetting to get the rest situation in. Now we're up against Dino Topmüller's Hannover. New manager bounce possibly in their way. Hannover could jump above us if they win this game. We are currently tied on 36 points. We're now 4 points adrift of 7th place. With just 6 games remaining. Looks like we have very much thrown away our opportunity to be in Europe next season. Well, we've thrown away the opportunity for Darmstadt to be in Europe next season. Right, let's do throw-ins, defending corners. Let's do some work on possession. I usually ignore this. And I think it's almost always the same. Whenever I've kind of got a small glimpse of it, it's always been transition. And there's usually been something attacking in there as well. But we do seem to struggle with our second phases. Oh, actually. Yep, so we've got 2 back on the edge. Can we do a third on the edge? We can't do third on the edge, so that's fine. So our corners and stuff are absolutely fine, I think, in that bit. Right, so Mr. Echo asks, is the season finale will be next stream? We'll see how we get on tonight. If we can move through at a good pace, we will try and do so. But I do think that that would be, so it would have been 8 league games today, at least 4 Conference League matches as well. So actually, yeah, 12 probably is maybe a little bit too much, I think, for a stream. But yeah, like logistically, it feels like next stream might be most realistic. But we'll see. We'll just see how it goes over the course of today. So we'll offer a contract to Huge Shafter. I should be, like, if there are players that I quite like, I should be adding release clauses in, shouldn't I? But that would be very, very mean-spirited. Echo wants a Conference League final against Villa. I mean, it would be good. It would be good. I imagine, though, that, like, when you want a specific team for the final, that means you're almost guaranteed to draw them in the semi-finals or get knocked out in the semi-finals. So we'll see how it... Semi-finals is going to be a phenomenal achievement as it is. yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I feel like Ghent should be a team we'd be able to do well against. Sassuolo, we'd have to see how they're getting on in the game. I've seen Sassuolo become really good in FM24. I've seen them become really, really rubbish in FM24 as well. So it's kind of a mixed bag in that regards. Right, Gladbach have been held to a draw. So if we can win against Hannover, a big if that is, we will move back ahead of Gladbach. Frankfurt also play on Sunday, I think, as well. So we are hoping for them to drop points, which I don't think is going to be all that likely. Yeah, we don't need to worry too much about that second leg as well. That big win also means we can do the same as what we did, which is rotate players a little bit too. Which should hopefully keep us okay. That will bring us down to 5 league games. I can't remember who the next games were up against, but our last 3 or 4 games includes Bayern Munich, which is a little bit scary. I think Stuttgart are one of the games coming up. I think that might be the away game after Dunajska Streda. We'll see if we can check in a moment anyway, right? Like, yeah, Stuttgart, who are around 10th, seem to be one of the difficult games. The match coming up against... It is indeed. Away against Stuttgart next. Hamburg, Bayern. Freiburg is a massive game for us, obviously. And then Kaiserslautern to end the season. So Zerchel says, Dill Friday with league final and job hunting sounds great. That's true. That is true. Everyone knows that Dilfs love season finales. It's just one of those things that they do. I don't know why. Right, Clinton can come back in. We'll keep the front line as it is. Schmidt will come in. How did Wimmer perform other than the goal? So he didn't win his tackles. He did win a lot of headers. Passing was pretty safe as well. If we compare that to some of Schaffel's recent games, we can see in the last game, he also wasn't doing well with his tackles. Headers were okay. Passing pretty much the same. In that friendly, he didn't win any tackles, but didn't lose any. Gladbach, he struggled in the air. Bayer Leverkusen struggled in the air. NEC struggled in the air. Hoffenheim struggled in the air. Okay, so we're going to keep Wimmer in that starting lineup. Schmidt comes back in as New Pazarek. Nürnberger, Klinson, Pavlovic, Dvorak. Sihinovic's last game was against NEC and he conceded 2 goals. We're not bringing him back into starting lineup. We will run with that. Mr. Echo will be back in half an hour. No worries, my dude. See you in a while. So David Calico, Yanis Antiste up front for Hanover. We are going to say hands on hips. We have to win our home games. I want to see good defensive work. I want to see good midfield work. I want to see good goal scoring. Nobody cares. Nobody cares what we have to say. Nürnberger does not need to mark a specific player. We don't need Schmidt to do so either. Out of possession, we should be trapping outside. Lucas Klosterman is now... He's only 34 years old. Interesting. And who is Montader Majed? Montader Majed is not doing that well. Right, okay, we're going to show everyone over to the right-hand side. That's going to be our focus here. Let's press Klosterman. We're going to standard thing to mark up these guys further ahead of the ball. Let's put the pressure. So let's try and get the ball out wide right, and then we apply pressure on them. See how that goes. We need to turn things around in the league. It's been a long time. It's now 8 games since we've eight games without a win in the league, which has seen us fall down the table. So De Niro from the kickoff. Let's see how we get on. Welcome in, Thibaut. Lovely to see you, my dude. Long time no see. I hope you're well. We're doing all right. It's lovely to see you. How have you been? How's your week going so far? We are struggling with Darmstadt at the moment. We've just come off the back of a 6-1 win in the quarterfinals of the Conference League. So it sounds really dumb to say we're struggling, but we're 8 games without a win in the regular league, and we're now outside of the European spots. Here's Klosterman to Amiri. He feeds Madjed. Madjed is in so much space. You see that lovely tight marking we did on Madjed? Beautiful stuff there. So good that we left him completely in space, but thankfully was offside. Pavlovic with the corner now. Sends it in. Abdullah's the target. Beaten by Abby Mumbi. Linson, edge of the area. Question, not for Linson.
White badge, blue shirt, white socks, blue shorts, blonde hair, white star, bled blue, lily white. Nog Linson saw the Darmstadt goal tonight at the Merck Stadion and Bollenfaltor, where the goals are their delight.
There we go. Knockby Linson from the edge of the area. That is goal number 12 for the season. From a stats point of view, we're shading it, but neither team are really creating anything much at all. Momentum is kind of in our favour, but not massively. Now, Calico's target down the left-hand flank. Pazarek steps in, finds Nürnberger. Nürnberger to Dvorshak. And Dvorshak loses out. Amiri across to Madjed. Madjed's first time pull back, and here's Calico. Halen down low to his right-hand side, pushes it behind. Some very questionable play from Dvorshak there, losing possession in a dangerous area. They moved the ball forwards very quickly. Madjed has been more threatening in this game than he has at any other point during the course of the season, despite us targeting him, which is something I think we're probably going to need to look at a little bit. Let's have a look. I say that comes up that way. Hannover, possession. He's coming off at half-time. He lost the ball 10 times, so actually kind of had some joy in that regard. Klosterman has been pretty safe, though. Let's say, like, we're happy, but we're going to ask for more. Let's mark up Jaden Adai. Going to show him out onto the right as well. Our focus is still going to be... Let's focus on both fullbacks, in fact. So players out on the left, we will try and show down the line. But otherwise, we'll try and get it out to Klosterman. He's not the most composed player from what I recall. Although it has been a long time since I've managed him in an FM, to be fair. But he's an injury-prone 34-year-old. Surely we can get him under some pressure. So let's go into the second half. Can we hold on? It's going to be a long 45 minutes, I feel. Dvorshak into Linson. That was nice, though. Second goal straight from kickoff would be nice. As Wilton, send him off, ref. That was disgusting. Disgusting. That said, we might have a highlight here. Here's Nürnberger standing over the free kick. Sends it into the far post. Schmidt is beaten in the air by Oliveira, but it comes only as far as Linson. Linson has to go back, though. And nothing happens. Nothing happens. Oh, there we go. Cool. Momentum has started in Hannover's favour. Pazarek's now picked up a yellow card. So, Huyin's coming on. No, he's not. Adarabayo is coming on. He's going to go on to a support duty. I don't mind him taking risks. We don't want him to stay wider. Going to ask him to dribble less. That means we're going to ask Dvorak to provide, like, he can have some width. We've still got 5 players in the final third. In that regards. Just push that mentality up. As we say, momentum has been kind of in Hannover since, so we want to try and get ourselves a little bit further forwards. Here's Asnu. Asnu with the cross, cut out by Kurda. Bad mistake from Kurda, and De Niro can't take advantage. Oh, disgusting. Indeed, Bill. Disgusting. Which one of yous? Right, Nürnberger. Nürnberger sends it to Adarabai at the far post. Kastenmeier with a lovely save. Linson gathers. Can we keep that pressure on? Nürnberger now. Back to Wimmer. We can't keep that pressure on. That's what we wanted to see. We've started to... That's not what we want to see. Maybe it's what we want to see. Here's Klosterman. Klosterman. Is he going to go at all on his own? 34-year-old Lucas Klosterman. We asked him to put some pressure on him. We don't put pressure on him. We let him carry the ball into our half with very, very little resistance. And now they've moved it back. Here's Kurda finding Jaden Adai. Came on at half-time for the injured Meddad. Back to Klosterman. To Adai. Sends the cross in. Wilgen's the target. We can't quite get there. Linson comes away with it. No, he doesn't. Wilgen finds Antiste. Antiste from the angle. Nürnberger gets the blocking. Maestro's got to go. No worries at all. Thank you very much for dropping by, my dude. Lovely to see you. Have a wonderful evening. And Miri with the corner. Burke with the header. And we managed to clear. Let's encourage these guys as Pavlovic sends the header behind. So I talked about us moving up to positive. We start to have some chances. Momentum moved in our favour. And as I said, that's what we want to see. It's been all Hannover since. Asnu, though, gets us out of danger there. Here's Amiri. Back to Klosterman. Klosterman to Kurda. Into Burke. Back. Okay. Let's get a challenge in. Antiste's in. Halen just gets there first. Looked like there could have been a coming together between defenders, but we were all right. Now he sends it long to Dvorak. Dvorak loses out, and Antiste is now in for the equaliser. The shot is saved by Hyland. I was going to the tactics then, but no, we've got another highlight coming up straight away. Here's Jaden Adai. Antiste in behind for the 3rd time in a matter of seconds. Halen makes the save. Antiste has been brilliant, so they're now bringing him off for Armin Sieb, who also looks to be a threat in behind. So, why on earth have we not paid any attention to him at any point during those last 3 attacks? We're dropping down our line of engagement. We are going to mark Armando Sieb just like we were marking Yanis Antiste as well. Now those attacks have come down that last one came down, the ball was over our left-hand centre-back. So it's in that channel, that's Schmidt. The 2 previous ones had come on Wimmer's side. So our changes are going to be another centre-back. Garcia McNulty is going to play in the left-back spot so that we can try and cover that area a little bit, which means we'll ask De Niro to stay wider. Get Pavlovic on a slightly more aggressive role, so we've still got our 5 pushing forwards. And Schifferl is now coming on for Wimmer. So we're basically blaming Asnu's tiredness and Wimmer for those chances coming through. We're dropping down to balanced mentality. So Joyce wants us to mark the opponent's DM, Nürnberger. We could do. I mean, that is an option. Thank you very much for the suggestion. Maestro needs a new keyboard. I mean, I got what you meant with have a great one. It's all perfectly good there. Highland gathers, which is fine. Right, so our last change is likely to be Dvorak off. Yes, Joyce, I've read your message. Again, just a reminder, there is no backseating in the chat. If I want your recommendations, I will shout out for it. Right, Amiri here. Amiri with the cut back, and it's Wiltgen. Tom Wiltgen pulls one back. We need to now push for the goal to go back ahead. Good work from Adai down the right-hand side. Cuts back, plays it into Amiri. Amiri was free. Pavlovic didn't follow his man. The cut back to Wiltgen. It's been coming. It has been coming. Right. Pause. Here we go. So, Dvorak was the player we were going to bring off. It's going to be Stenbring. We do have one more change we can make as well. And that change is going to be Jelicic on for Abdullahi. So we will go with an inverted winger. And a narrow to play as an advanced forward. We will go attacking. Let's see if we can rescue something or throw it all away. Quite possibly throw it all away. So those chances, you can see Hannover have had very much the play of it in the second half. Pavlovic now. We'll send it in. Adarabai is the target, but we can't get it past the first man. Stenbring to Jelicic. Jelicic fires high and over. Right, Adarabai with a throw in deep in our half. He loses out to Sieb. Calico. Calico creates space. Calico. Great save from Halen. Great save from Halen. We are very... It is nice. To be fair, at the moment, it looks like we're potentially going to get a draw in a game where we've been out XG'd, which is a thing that hasn't happened often. Normally we are the ones getting FM'd, and Hannover are very much on the receiving end right now of very, very bad fortune. Right, Kastenmeier to Arian B. That said, we had that disallowed goal in our favour in the last game. Forward to Calico, to Burke. Burke into Klosterman. Klosterman back to Kerder. Kerder now plays it all the way back to A and B. There are 15 seconds left. Is there a chance for a highlight here? Adarabai lets it run out for a throw, and that is surely going to be the last moment now. There we go. That is not three successive draws. We lost the first game 2-0, didn't we? So 2 successive draws. Very much a deserved from Hannover there. But that's okay. We are now within 3 points of Freiburg, who lost to 17. Well, they were bottom of the table, Holsten Kiel. So we are within 3 points of 7th, potentially. We've got a nasty game against Frankfurt next in the league after the cup game. And then we have Freiburg a little bit later on this season. Training, rest. How far away is Hove? Hove's still 2 weeks away. Cool. Okie dokie. So we will move on to the next game. I mean, I don't like playing this 4-3-3. The reason we're playing the 4-3-3 is because of the players coming back from injury. So we might move. What was that like? So from the profit and loss calculations right now, no team made a profit in the Bundesliga, though Hannover did manage to break even. That's the story they're running with. Whereas it seems to say that Hannover lost 17 million. So we've lost 48 million. So this season we will get probably around 50 or 60, I think it is for... So let's go back a moment. We will get... Yes, there's probably somewhere around 55, 60 million for finishing around 9th, 10th position. Which is kind of what we're expecting there. So at that rate, we expect that we'll probably post a profit, once you've had more expenditure come through, maybe of about 10 million. 33 million the year before as well. So I'm not sure where 50 million losses come from. I'm guessing that includes and excludes various things. A lot of our transfers went through before the season rolled over last season, so maybe that's a contributor. I don't know. I mean, yeah. Is that a case of the game is showing us the wrong information, or is it a case of It's the best way. Is it a case of the accountants, the way that accountancy works, is that would all be marked down as a loss because certain things don't count towards it? Oh, goody. Pazox out with food poisoning. Marvellous. 1 to 6 days as well, which means he's probably going to miss the Stuttgart game, unfortunately. So say it loudly asked, does your club have bank loans or debts? Well, even if you're servicing those bank loans and debts, that's going to come through on your page there, because every time payment goes out for those bank loans, that will come out of your overall balance. Now, generally speaking, we don't. We're owed 2 million euros in transfer debt. We hold no debt there at all. We generally speaking, we don't use clauses when we apply for much. So Asnu has a sell-on clause. De Niro has a sell-on clause. We've activated the future fee for Dvorak, but otherwise we don't have we don't have any installments to worry about in terms of outgoings either. We might have some installments coming in for a couple of players in. That's why there's a negative transfer debt in there. And even then, it's just Ellis Sims. So probably was more transfer debt, and you still have around 2 million. So that's money coming into us. Say it loudly. The only player we've sold on those clauses. So as I said, when it comes to clauses, we don't tend to use them. So the only player we've sold on clauses in the 4 years is Ellis Sims, just to get him out the door. So we haven't done that on any of these other sales here. Now, we might have inherited some from the previous manager, but that shouldn't explain why we've got £50 million loss in that article, when at no point we've made close to it, right? Right, Pazarek out, Huyin in. Let's go back to Jelicic there. Let's get Shataki some more game time. Let's give Stenbring a chance. Zahinovic can get the game time now as well. Let's get Ivor Biggin back on the bench. He won't play, but he's there just in case. Reserves. Alki. Schubert, sure. Let's do Schubert as well. So, not much options in terms of what we can say there. I expect to win. I want you to play well. Why are you confused by that, Huyin? Do you think that I want you just oh, it'd be quite funny to sub him off before the game starts, right? Like, how dare you react that way? Let's just see how it goes. We should be good to not have to worry. Banger. Right, so yeah, it seems really, really weird. Mr. Echo, where's Quadmo? Quadmo has band rehearsals on a Wednesday evening. So it's a great opportunity for people to catch up in the mystery mini games. That's the real reason why I make sure I've got a Wednesday slot on. Here's Pavlovic into Stenbring. Stenbring turns, tries to create space. Stenbring shoots. Jakubec just about gets enough on it. Seems like he dived past the ball. But yeah, we could do with just a nice goal early on. Let's see if we can get a big buffer and just destroy any positive feeling that Strader might potentially have. Mean Wolf, welcome in, my dude. How are you, sir? Lovely to see you. How's your week been so far? Abs is in as well. welcome in, my dude. The Champions League / Europa music hits hard. The Conference League one does indeed. I don't know, but it gives me goosebumps. It's very, as DM Basis described it, it's very corporate. It's very like car advert background music, but it's driving. It's fun. I love it. I absolutely love it. Here's Dvorak. Feeds Jelicic. Jelatic takes a touch, fires it at goal, but it's blocked. Now Adai has a chance to come away with it. Cuts inside, loses out to Pavlovic, but there's Slavic. Loses out to Pavlovic as well. Pavlovic is up for this game. Stenbring back to Asnu. Gets it back once more. Stenbring, can he find a man? He can, and that is.
Jalal Abdullahi, Abdullahi, Jalal Abdullahi, Jalal Abdullahi, Abdullahi, Jalal Abdullahi.
That is, of course, Jalal Abdullahi. 1-0. That's what we needed. I think we can start to feel a little bit more relaxed about the game from here on in. Here's Dvorak. Dvorak feeding Huyin. Huyin, can we get 2 in as many minutes? No, we can't, because Jelatic hits the side netting. So the week so far is good. How is Darmstadt going? Are we moving to another club at the end of the season? We will be resigning at the end of the season from Darmstadt. What the next club will be, we don't know. It's been very much a continuation, Mean Wolf, of the last few streams where we've struggled in the league, but we're doing okay in the Conference League. So we are now 9 games without a win in the Bundesliga. We have the last game, I think, is one of the first times where we've deserved to lose, and we can feel pleased that we got a draw out of it. But we are struggling to score. We're struggling to keep the opponents out of the from scoring themselves. But here's Huyin. Huyin sends it in, and that's Dvorak. Dvorak, I don't have a song for Dvorak, so let's go with this one.
We love the goals we drop to be part of the wave. Darmstadt winning under Mika Aritalo.
Boom, Bin Dvorak coming in, that's 2-0. But in the Conference League, we're absolutely going crazy. So there we go. Maybe that's how we're going to end our 4 years at Darmstadt is by bringing Europe. We're not. Aston Villa are still in the tournament. Jelatic now. Did he manage to stay on side? Because Stenbring has put it away. It was tight. It was very, very tight. What's the deal here? Can we get some hands in the air? We can't. Stenbring, sadly robbed by Jelatic. Okay, I was going to say Jelatic went too early. That's not the case. Abdullahi wasn't able to release the ball in time. Had he been able to release it a touch earlier, we would have been good. So Panji over on YouTube asks, next save is Feyenoord. There aren't any plans on a new stream save as Gavric with his shot low, easy in at the near post. Sahinovic claims without any problems. There are no plans on going for a new save on stream anytime soon. So I don't think that's going to be likely. We've done a video just recently on Feyenoord though, so Panji, if you want to have a look at the Moneyball Clinic, I can certainly recommend that. Or can I? Yes, it does work. It has worked. I do like it when a command works. As Abdullahi, it's a great block. It's a great block. Ab says, top tier song. I'm glad you're a fan of the Jalal Abdullahi song. As Asnu now comes forwards and Jakubek with a save. Or was it the Red Hot Chili Peppers one? Tiki presses in. Welcome in, my dude. How are you, sir? I hope you are keeping well. Wimmer to Asnu, the edge of the box, finds Schmidt. Schmidt with a cheeky little touch inside. Jelatic shot is blocked. Jelatic was very much a big blunder for us this season. An €8 million signing. He's got, all of his assists have come in the Conference League. I think he might have 4, maybe 5 assists for the season. Hasn't scored any goals whatsoever. He's been a great, great disappointment. So this will be a stat padding match for your forwards. It does feel that way, Abs. It feels like the whole competition is stat padding for our forwards, our defenders, our midfielders. Dvorak now. Dvorak is in behind. Can he do something here? Takes the shot on. Jakubek was stood still like a statue. Now, actually, we haven't had as much control of the ball as I would have expected us to have. But I suppose we also don't really need it right now. We've got a 7-goal cushion. Make that a 6-goal cushion potentially. Nebula's in behind. We managed to get across, clear the ball out to touch. Right. 8 minutes or so left of the first half. Here's Abdullahi into Jelicic. Shataki. Out to Asnu. Asnu, get that cross in, my lad. Get that cross in, you do. Stenbring, you're not going to deny him this time.
Going, Aradalo's glowing, Nick has got us going
There we go. Martin Stenbring gets on the end of Asnu's low cross there at the near post across the keeper. That's a 9-1 on aggregate. I think we're through to the semi-finals. Right, so Ab says sometimes it's better to be in the Conference League instead of Champions League, as Benedict Wimmer gets his second goal of the season. Both of them have come against Dinashka Streda.
Scoring like no tomorrow, dumb. Stand, the goals are here.
The stat padding is very much underway. Instead of the Champions League, better to be in the Conference League than the Champions League for small teams, as you have a chance of making it. Absolutely. So the pie guy, you're gone for back. Which club is Dinashka Streda? So Duns is Dinashka Streda. They are a Slovakian side. They knocked out Ofi Crete in the playoff knockout round and then beat Osijek in the round of 16. They are definitely the weakest team left at this stage at the quarterfinals. But they're not a bad team. Right, so the stat padding is underway. Let's now... Oh, there. We're going to give Abdullahi a rest, which sees Dvorak go up top. So in midfield, we're going to bring on Isak Dick. That means Jelicic can go into that role there. We're also going to bring... We're going to bring... Yeah, we're going to bring Schmidt off. We're going to bring Schmidt off, bring on McNulty. For that second half. I think that should be fine. Let's see how we do into the second moment. So, small teams in Champions League usually is an exit early. It is indeed, Abs. So, Mr. Echo, now it's the same aggregate as it was in Georgia versus Armenia. We've beaten it now. We've beaten it now. Tiki Press, very good, thanks. Hope all of you are well. It's lovely to see you, my dude. Yeah, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. Right, so Abs asks, what are the percentage numbers on your players' cards during the match? The one next to the guy jumping up, that's header win rate. And the one with the guy sliding in, that's tackle win rate. And then over on the right-hand side, you have expected assists and you have expected goals. Right, can we... Yeah, we are seeing Dinashka Streda coming back into the game. Suddenly a big shift in momentum in that graph there as Jelicic wins the ball, just sends it away, panics. Hey, he could have run forward with the ball, he could have taken the pressure off. Instead, he just launches it miles away. And that's why I mean that Jelicic has been a bit disappointing. He's just clearly not the right man for what we need. Right, Garcia McNulty across to Wimmer. Wimmer takes his time, waits for them to come out and close him. Here we go, Dvorak finds Stenbring. Stenbring going to cut inside. Across to Pavlovic. Pavlovic with the shot from the edge of the area. And that went kind of harmlessly over. Let's drop that tempo a little bit. Let's see. Asnu's going to come off now. We're going to bring on Theo Schubert. Let's bring on Ivor Biggin as well. Here's a couple of youngsters. Chance to get some game time. Pavlovic with the corner. Sends it in. Griga gets it clear. Cobnan now comes away. Cobnan one-on-one. Will we go and close him down? We're slow to move across. Cobnan, though, we've got 2 men in the box. No one is back. Sends it to the Gavrich at the far post. Shataki comes across. A great challenge there. I mean, that could have been the beginning of the comeback. That could have been 10-2. And, you know, once they get one, the game would be over. But can we counter-attack? Stenbring, did he manage to stay on side? Ivor Biggin! Ivor Biggin's got the goal!
He will of the goals we dropped to be part of the wave. Darmstadt winning under Mika Aritalo.
I thought Stenbring was offside, but it doesn't matter. He cuts it back, and Ivor Biggin 5 yards out to score his first goal for the club. I think it's just his second substitute appearance. Ivor Biggin looking to make it too. Hits the bar. Jakubek gets himself up off the floor after it's hit the bar and manages to claim the second ball. Slavic with the throw-in. Nabila finds Grieger. Schubert lets him in behind. It hits the post. The cross takes the deflection, hits the post. Wimmer gets it clear. Last substitutions. I know we've still got 2 substitutions, but we've got 1 sub left. And that last change is going to be... Yeah, we're going to bring off Stenbring. Well done. We'll play Alka down at left back. We'll move Schubert forwards a little bit. Schubert can play in midfield. So what we're actually going to do... something like this. Probably a better use of the players' relative positional strengths. We're just getting some of those fringe players some minutes. So is that the real name of the player Shiitake? It is not the real name. There is a redeem for Nabila gets his second goal of the tie. He scored in the first leg. He scores in the second leg. It's back to 11-2 now. There is a points redeem for renaming new gens. However, because we're going to be leaving the club at the end of the season, I would recommend people don't redeem that from this point onwards, because we're not going to. We can always look back and track players' progress, but say the new regens that have come through, we're not going to see their development at the club. Right, Gavrich with a corner. Can they make it? That was the chance. Eva Biggin gets it clear. A goal for everyone. It is a goal for everyone. This, you were right. This is all about stat padding. All about stat padding. Ivor Biggin is the most successful compared to his perpetually envious brother, Juve Biggin. Juve indeed. Right, Sivak into Mihalik. Sends the cross in. Nebula to get it again. It's Gavrich. Bad defending. Let's push that tempo back up. Now we'll watch the goal again. Slavic gets the ball back from the throw-in. Just swings a leg at it. Nebula's alert. The game's not over as far as he's concerned. The rest of the defense are like, fuck it. We won't chase after the ball. Why should we bother challenging for headers or anything? Good save from Sahinovic. And then Gavrich was there on the follow-up. Right, Gavrich tries to chase the ball. We cut it out. Schubert. We've got 2 minutes of injury time left. Plus the 30 seconds or so left of the game. Here's Ivor Biggin. Ivor Biggin feeds Schubert. Schubert, there we go.
Darmstadt's going, Aritalo's glowing, Mika's got us going.
What a silly game this is. Schubert, another one of the youth players coming through. Ivor Biggin now with a goal and an assist. There's still time for more. Hopefully not. There's 15 seconds left. I'm hoping this highlight is just going to be us seeing the game out. There is something quite ridiculous that we've generated something like 5 or 6 XG in the league so far tonight, and we've struggled to score. And now we've got 12 goals in 2 games in a Conference League quarter final. Gathered there by Jakubek. Sends it forward. Surely this is the final whistle, ref. What are you waiting for? Put them out of their misery. There we go. There we go. Another 4.5 XG game for us as well.
Wait for SV Darmstadt, slam the goal in motion. You can feel it every week. Mustard Dogs rejoices, free your mind and join us. Gonna win the fucking league.
Okay. Big result there. Basel win in extra time away against Ghent. Sassuolo win in extra time at home against Odense Bold Club. That's a surprise. I thought Basel were out after drawing their home leg of the tie. That is a big result. Sassuolo I expected to do the deed, which is marvellous, and that means we get Sassuolo in the semi-finals. Just 1 million for winning the Conference League quarter-finals. You bastards. That does mean, however, that our games against Bayern Munich and Freiburg have been rearranged. Right, so there is a mystery minigame, Zeratul. We will do that after the break, which is coming up in a moment. And Hung Min has redeemed a look-up. So let's see how Yusuf Chamiti is getting on. Yusuf Chamiti was a player we did keep an eye on a couple of summers ago, but wasn't really doing particularly well from a goal-scoring point of view. Now he's currently at Elke, and he's not doing great. 6 goals in 32 starts, 4 assists. I'm guessing he's playing as a striker. He is indeed. So yeah, like he's getting in goal-scoring positions. Quality of shots isn't great. Just above 0.10 per chance. Kind of okay from a creativity standpoint. Doing well in terms of pressures attempted. As far as his career goes, he has been better when he was down a division. So in La Liga 2, 14, 16, 14. Championship did well as well. But yeah, maybe not quite destined for the very, very top level, I'm afraid. Yeah. So there's Chamiti. His value, though, around 15 million. Pretty decent. Pretty decent. Cool. Okay, so we have a break coming up now. So I'm going to head off, do the honours, refill the drink, poison my lungs, probably shove some food in my face at some point. I will see you guys in about 3 to 4 minutes when we'll come back and play a little mini game. Right, and we're back. So, before we explain the rules for Missing 11, Tiki Press asked, do you know which league you're aiming for after leaving Darmstadt? Essentially, we are just avoiding warm climates. So we're not going to be looking to go to southern Italy, southern France, Spain or Portugal, but anything else is on the table. So we might stay in Germany. Otherwise, the Netherlands, North Italy, mid to North France, UK will probably be where we will likely target. But then we've got to see how the job market shapes out. So we have previously turned down offers from Atletico Madrid, interview offers, not job offers, interview offers from Atletico Madrid, Internazionale, Borussia Dortmund. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully one of those might be amongst the interest there. So we've got a game of Missing 11 coming up. Oh my Brazilian Fury. Thank you very much for the bit, sir. Now, if you guys aren't following Brazilian Fury, you need to reconsider what you're doing with your lives, because Brazilian is an absolute legend of the scene. His YouTube videos in particular, I'm a massive fan of. Great deep dives into Alexi Lalas, into what goes on underneath the surface of the Brazilian iceberg. Absolutely fabulous stuff. Also streams, currently streaming as you now did to Marseille, which is incredible. And that would be 100% worth checking out. Lovely to see you, my dude. But I digress. Missing 11. This is going to be a relatively straightforward game, right, guys? You have got a team from some point in the history of football. In a few moments, somewhere underneath where those points are, you see the word team currently. I'm going to reveal what that team is, what game this is looking at, and you need to name which players were in the starting 11 for that game. Spelling is important. You need to get the spelling right. However, they could be all capital letters, a mixture, all lowercase, that will pick up. If a player has an accent in their surname, say like a grave E, it will pick it up if you get it correct. It will pick it up if you just put a normal E in there as well. It's, there's a number of ways that we can you can submit it, but you do need to spell their names right. So once we reveal it, get your answers, your guesses in as quickly as you possibly can. So today we are looking for the Arsenal team away from home against Manchester United in October 2004. There is also a bonus point if you can name why this game is significant. So do we have any ideas as to who this is? Incidentally, the question marks and the number on the shirt indicates how many letters in that player's surname. So we know that the goalkeeper has 7 letters in their name. So do we have any thoughts here as to who could potentially be in that lineup? Zerachul is coming in with the guesses. He's picked up on Henri. He's picked up on Lundberg. He's picked up on Torre. FMG&G comes in, was going with Pascal Sigan. Now, if you got that right, FMG&G, that would have been an incredible guess. So Zerachul has also picked up on Lehmann. Beautiful stuff. And Cole. It is maximum of 5 Zerachul indeed. So the Kvez comes in. He spots that Bergkamp was the strike partner. Nightcrawlers getting themselves the bonus point there. The first loss in Premier League after the unbeaten season. It was indeed the game that ended their invincible run. 49 games without a loss until the game away at Old Trafford. So Valpaigai was going for Van Persie, which is a fine guess. Unfortunately, he wasn't in the team there. Gonçalo Montero gets the end of the event was as well, just a little bit behind, unfortunately. Tiki Press was going for Ray. I'm guessing you're not too far off with that, I think. Quite possibly. FMG&G picks up on Edu, and his partner by the Crez, it was Patrick Vieira. Gonçalo comes in with Lauren at right back. Beautiful stuff. Midfielder starts with G. They do not start with a G. Nightcrawler is going for Pires. Gonçalo picked up on Campbell. Did no one picked up Sol Campbell at that point? They hadn't. Beautiful stuff. So we have just the left midfielder left to go. 5 letters. A left winger from the okay, I don't need to carry on any further. FMG&G. FMG&G beats Nightcrawler to the punch by literally probably less than a second. I saw them come through one after the other on my lovely little thing there. It is indeed Reyes. Reyes was the last one there. Beautiful work, coach. Zerachul with the applause for absolutely. You guys did a phenomenal job. The Quez got 2 correct ones. You did indeed. Zerachul was running away there with it. We got some great answers coming in. FMG&G's picked up a number. We got Gonzalo picked up a few as well. And the Quez with 2 correct answers in there. Beautiful work, guys. Cool. So our next game is away against Stuttgart. I don't feel good about this game. But you know, we I think I'm going back to the 4-4-2. We've been playing the 4-3-3 because of injuries. We're starting to get players back now. It's just Johan Hove really that's missing. I think we go back to the 4-4-2. Will it work? Probably not. We went back to the 4-4-2 and had to switch to a 4-3-3 quite early on in one of the games. So, you know, probably not the wisest idea, but the 4-4-2 was what we were having success with early on in the season. And it only really kind of derailed once we had those injuries. So let's switch on over. We can carry on forwards a little bit until the game actually happens. So Zerachul asked, was the buffet game? It was indeed. The infamous Pizzagate, where there was Arsenal were very much the dominant team most of the way through the game. Then somewhere around like the 70th minute, would I say that Rooney dived? Maybe not dived. Maybe dived isn't the word. Rooney exaggerated contact and won a questionable penalty. And it all got a little bit heated from there on in. And ended up with what was essentially a food fight in the tunnel at the end of the game. So Mike Riley was man of the match in the match. Indeed, FMG&G. Yes. I mean, Rooney was man of the match for conning the ref, I would say. Right, that's the wrong way round. I want it this way round so that I've got Darabio, Pazarek, Linson, Nürnberger, De Niro, Abdullahi, Pavlovic. That is our... Wimmer stays in as the starter. Asni, Pavlovic. Yep. Hyland back in for Sahinovic. Sahinovic conceded more than he should have done in the last game. So he didn't do enough to convince me that he should be back in the starting lineup, even if Halen isn't necessarily the best. Thank you very much for the hydrate, gents. Let's do that. Start at balanced. Oh no. We're going to stick with a 4-3-3. It makes more sense against a 4-2-4 diamond. It makes more sense. So all those changes, let's undo them all now. That's Pavlovic on that side there. Linson. Darabio can't be the man playing in that game. So Pazarek there. Borshak in. Yeah, I think that's what we go with. But like against that 4-2-4 diamond, that's what we played up against the last time we lined up with the 4-4-2, and it's just not a really good. they get to dominate the central of the pitch very, very well in that situation. So let's talk about no pressure. Let's trust them. We've got some positive reactions so far. Can we turn positive reactions into positive performance? Here we go. Right, Relay has come back finally. It was on the search of a good meal. What did you find? What did you find? What was the meal of choice? Mr. Echo says, at least my redeem was faster than language guess lol. Just joke. I mean, we have some good moments. We have some good moments. Right, Schmidt cuts out the ball. He's under pressure though. Plays it back to Halen. Look out there to Asnu. Asnu has loads of space. Right, run forwards. Run. Okay, I know you got the ball. Abdullah shoots from distance straight at Seaman. Seaman spills everywhere though, and that's a corner. Pavlovic with the corner. Sends it into the near post. Abdullah who gets it clear. Linson picks up the second ball. Linson finds Pavlovic. Pavlovic shots blocked. And Stuttgart managed to clear their lines. A good start so far. We've had a couple of chances. The momentum is kind of in our favour. Nothing happening in terms of shot creation there, but we are pretty even in terms of positioning. Wimmer from the throw-in finds Dvorak. Dvorak back to Pazarek. Interesting pass choice there. Plays it down the line. Dvorak into Abdullah. Abdullah spreads it out wide. De Niro, lovely touch off the chest. De Niro going out wide. Swings the ball in. Dvorak with the header. Seaman saves. Oh, Seaman. Seaman, you bastard. Right, so what did you miss from the last hour? So Relay, we have continued being very, very bad in the league, but we did win our quarter-final Conference League matchup, 12-2 on aggregate against Slovakian side Dunajska Streda. We've saved all our good football for the Conference League. We are now 9 games without a win in the Bundesliga. This will make it 10 goals. I was about to break. As Seaman saved from Pavlovic's powerful header, it just felt like it's going to be another one of those games where we can't score. But Abdullah was there to react fastest and head it into the open goal to make it 1-0. But can Stuttgart respond? Almost immediately. Here's Zagadou into Fernandes, out to Milo. Milo gets there but ahead of Asnu, but Wimmer's able to cut out the ball. Here's De Niro. Picked up a yellow card in the few moments after the goal was scored. Here we go, out wide to Pazarek. We've got 2 men over, so run forwards, Dvorak. Linson feeds Pavlovic. Pavlovic is in behind. Pavlovic with the goal. Lazio.
Stand, scoring like no tomorrow. Dumb, stand, the goals are here.
Dvorak. I was criticising Dvorak for not running forwards. I still criticise him for not running forwards. But we eventually get the ball through. Linson plays in Pavlovic, and that is 2-0. And as Nightcaller says, Seaman is all over the place after some powerful heading. Here's Hector Fort. Hector Fort, no pressure on him whatsoever, sends the cross in, and Linson has given away a penalty. Doesn't last long. The moments of positivity don't last long. Linson concedes another penalty. I think he's conceded the last penalty as well. There was zero pressure on Fort over on the right. He sends the cross in, and that is 2-1. Stuttgart are back in it immediately. All the hard work to get a 2-goal cushion is being destroyed. Milo places it nicely to Highland's right. I feel that was a savable height, but Highland decided to kind of dive like this, which isn't really like dive the full length, man. Dive the full length. Nürnberger with the corner. Let's restore that lead before the half ends as Abdullah gets there, but it's over. It's over. So Raleigh found a nice bratwurst place. I took twice. Nice. Milo with the free kick into the wall behind for a corner. There are going to be 3 minutes of stoppage time. Can Stuttgart equalise before we go in for the break? Here's the corner to the far post. Linson gets there. Linson's still on a decent rating because he's got the assist. But that booking worries me. Here's the cross, Van Persie. Hyland. Oh, Hyland just about gets enough on it to get it behind. Another corner. Milo sends it in, this time to the far post. Pazarek with a diving header to get it clear. Bookman's there, finds a chart. I can't speak. Back out to Fort. No pressure on Fort whatsoever. Nürnberger to Jules. Off the post. Defend, you fuckers. What do we need? A part bus. When do we want it? Now. We're still like massively. We've got 0.2 XG more, considering we conceded a penalty as well. We need more going into that second half. And that means we're bringing off De Niro. De Niro is coming off. And Shiitake is coming on. So we can put Linson out there. Drop that tempo a little bit. Now, Hector Fort. I know this is going to be a really, really crazy idea, guys. But can we actually pay some bloody attention to the guys out in wide position? So that means, Linson, you need to pay attention to your man. Stop leaving. They're playing really narrow. Pay attention to your men. Pay attention to your men. They should never be in as much space as Fort has been on a couple of occasions now. So into the second half. Can we... Please let us win a game. Please let us win a game. The desperation is so clear right now. Asnu coming forwards. Now feed it to Linson. Here's Linson. Linson, can you find a player there? Abdullahi steps it back for Shiitake.
The team will love the goals we drop to be part of the wave. Darmstadt winning under Mika Aritalo.
Just less than 30 seconds into the second half. Abdullahi. Bad control from Abdullahi, but it's into the path of Shiitake, who sweeps it home with his right foot into the far corner. Can we hold on to this 2-goal lead for longer than we did in the first half? There is a highlight immediately, so there's a possibility we can't. We're constantly playing the ball through Nürnberger at the heart of defence. Here's Asnu now. Asnu was the man who got the pre-assist for the last goal. Dvorak can't get to his cross though. Here's Pazarek. Pazarek cuts inside his man. The cross takes a deflection. Seaman pushes it behind. Nürnberger with the corner. Nürnberger sends it into that middle of the pitch. Abdullahi with a foul, and Wimmer does turn it goalwards in the end, but Abdullahi pushed his man over. Here's Rios, finds Jules to Fernandes. Fernandes with the shot. Jules is offside. I'm going to ask these guys to... I'm demanding more. In the past, we've told them to focus. In the past, we've told them to... We've encouraged them. We've praised them. Let's try a different strategy at 2-0 up. As Jules forces a great save out of Hyland. Morton with the corner now. And Jules was the target, but Abdullahi gets it clear. Here's Pazarek. We are 6 minutes into the second half, and I feel like almost all of that 6 minutes have been highlights. In fact, we've moved forwards barely a minute. And here's Rios with a save from Hyland. What on earth is going on with this game? Milo sends it into Zagadou. Zagadou doesn't jump for it. Neither does the defender. But Shiitake gets back eventually to make the challenge. So we still just about lead the XG. Well, actually, we've extended our lead on XG. We aren't necessarily doing particularly well in terms of holding on to the ball. We did drop the tempo a little bit. Here's Abdullahi, has space down on the right-hand side. Beats his man. That was some nice work initially. Feeds it back to Pazarek. Here's Pavlovic with the shot. It's a massive, massive deflection. That's going to go down as a Morton own goal. Abdullahi did well down the right. Found Pazarek. Pavlovic's shot. It's a big, big deflection off Morton. So much so they've called it an own goal. It looked like it was going to be on target at least. Surely that gives us a little bit of breathing room. Maybe not, because we've got players booked now. Here's the free kick in, and Rios on the edge of the area hits the underside of the bar. Alright, we're going to play out defence. We're going to pop these guys on support. Let's try and build up in deep areas. Let's hold on to the ball a lot more than we are. That also means that we can bring Pazarek off for Adarabayo. And Linson's now on a booking as well. So he's going to be replaced by... Dvorak can't play off the left. Abdulai can't play off the left. Stembring can. He's left-footed. So we will play you as a winger. Let's run with that for the second half there. It's all coming together now. I mean this in the most respectful way to the Darmstadt players. We are dumb. How on earth we have scored 16 goals in 3 games, but also been truly, truly atrocious for another set of games. It's just everything all in once. Nürnberger, these are the games we play FM for, indeed. Nürnberger takes aim. Simon, I'm saying his name properly for a change. That's not right. Seaman does really, really well. Seaman spills it over the bar. And here's a corner from Nürnberger. Bookman, our former player, our former star, gets the ball clear. Here's Wimmer. Into Pavlovic. Pavlovic out wide to Asnu. He feeds Stembring. Stembring can't quite get past Bookman. And the former Darmstadt player gets the ball clear eventually. So I will need to look at the possession stats. I feel like chances have slowed down now. Chances have slowed down significantly. There's a Darabayo forces another save, and that's what we want. We want to kill this game. We've got ourselves up to 46% possession, so we were about 42% at half-time. So we are starting to get a lot more control on the game, and that will help us. Surely we can't throw away a 3-goal lead in the last 15 minutes. We've never done that before, right? We've never done that before. Ease Off Tackles is in. Welcome in, my dude. How are you, sir? Please tell me you haven't signed Tosin. We most definitely have signed Tosin. Oh, that was surely offside. That was offside where Van Persie was in the line of the keeper all the way through that. It's okay, though. The corner comes to the far post and Highland claims. We most definitely have signed Tosin Adarabayo. He was on a free transfer at the end of last season. Comes in, adds some flexibility for us and some experience. As Dvorak's in behind, forces another save from Seaman. And he's been okay. We were playing a back three at the beginning of the season, which is partly why we wanted someone that could play at right back if needs be, or on the right hand side of a back three, or at centre back. He hasn't been that great at centre back, but has been pretty reliable for us when playing this defensive right back role. Changes coming up now. Garcia McNulty's going to come on for the tiring Asnu. And Dvorak. Right, let's make that change first. Nope. Make that change first. And then make one more change. And that's going to be, finally, let's give Abdulai a little bit of time off the pitch. So that'll put Dvorak up front. Jelicic comes on for the last few moments. Here's Garcia McNulty pouring forwards, finds Dvorak. Dvorak tries to get it out of his feet. He can't. Here it is. Can he play it back to Darabayo? Doué makes the challenge and away comes Abdeluhu. Look at the left. Bercia is in space. Can Bercia burst past his man though? He's taken his time. He's created the opportunity to find Doué, but Nürnberger sweeps things up. And here's a chance for us to come forwards with Abdulai. Abdulai, the last few contributions for this game. Beats Zagadou, draws the foul, and now he'll come off as a substitute. So Ease says, if you ever had to watch Tosin play right back in real life, I'd have gouged my eyes out. I like Adarabayo. I liked him at Fulham. Struggled a little bit at Chelsea. Also a cracking penalty taker. There's that as well. There is that as well. A deserved win. A deserved win in the end.
Win for SV Darmstadt, spam the golden motion. You can feel it every week. Muster Dogs rejoices, free your mind and join us. Gonna win the fucking league.
Right, that pulls us with 4 games remaining within 1 point of 7. Pazarek, though, now has picked up yet another yellow card, which means he's going to miss the game against Hamburg in 6 days' time. That means Hu Yin comes back in as the more attacking option. Tim Muller should be back by that point. Johan Hove's going to be back by that point as well. Oh, how we've missed Johan Hove and his 5 goals from midfield. Right, so what's that? That's 4 league games, right? 4 league games. 2 semi-finals and one of those up there. Today, we started with the game against Leverkusen, didn't we? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, cool. Right. I don't think we're going to get through the whole season tonight. So I think this is a good point to leave it. That gives us a nice chunk of games to end our season on Friday. We have 4 league games remaining. The league is currently very, very tight. We are joint on 40 points with Freiburg, both 1 point ahead of Gladbach. Our remaining games are against Hamburg, Bayern Munich, Freiburg, and Kaiserslautern. We have a semi-final coming up against Sassuolo in the Conference League. Win that, and we're in the Conference League final in Darmstadt's first ever season in European football. It's set up pretty nicely. Ease off tackles. I'm sorry, man. You hop in and we immediately decide to end. I'm so sorry, man. Yeah, I mean, so I was thinking like maybe we get through to the end of the month and then, but as soon as I saw that we have just 4 league games left to go, kind of feels like a nice healthy chunk for the next one. So a massive thank you for everyone who's dropped by. We're going to do the standard thing that we do here. So over on YouTube, I'm going to say goodbye. We can't raid over on YouTube, so that's not a thing we can do. So we'll end the output there. I will be back at 6 p.m. GMT on Friday. So I'd love to see you then. Be wonderful. In fact, actually, no. Before I do that, I'm very, very rubbish at promoting myself. So if you fancy it, why not come along and join our Discord? Over in Discord, there is in fact a channel that I need to talk to you guys about. A channel called Not the World Cup. This was where we did the 3-day challenge around Christmas time last year. I'm going to be doing another 3-day, 36-hour streams coming up in mid-April to raise money for Gamers Outreach. And there's a little poll in there as to what we're going to do for those streams. So if you head on over to Discord, I would very, very much appreciate your input on the poll in the Not the World Cup channel. I'll be spamming it in a moment when we end. So I'll say that first. Now I'll end the stream.